live. Woo!
Okay, cool.
We're on. All right. Welcome, everybody who may or may not be here because I don't have a stream pulled up and I should do that. But we are playing a one shot. It would have been Pathfinder tonight, but Chuck is a busy person. So we are doing something else instead. And I'm going to run the party here through a little side story that's happening somewhere in the same continent as my other game at the same moment. So we are playing in the Velarin continent. Basically, the story is you all got summoned by, let me say the name right, the Seraphel Initiative. It's a bunch of these nomadic elves that kind of have been displaced from their home in the Felmarsh. They lived there before it was the Felmarsh and all messed up and gross. And they've been trying to go back and kind of reforge their society, but it hasn't been safe. Every few years they make pilgrimages into the Felmarsh, they have like lots of religious sites around, and they try to maintain them and pay homage to them. And they've noticed over the last few years, it's been a lot safer and less people have been injured or hurt on their travels. So they thought it might be a good time to rally the troops and try and head back in. So they sent out a scouting party, found one of their old strongholds, and then they sent out a hunting party to clear it out of all the monsters that had moved in. They sent a party in to reestablish the settlement. But that party stopped responding. They were supposed to be going back and forth, getting supplies and shipments and things to, patch everything up and rebuild. But a few weeks went by and they missed a few of their shipments. So then a search party went in to see what happened. And now you are going in to see what happened to the search party that never came back.
Perfect.
And
so it's a recipe for success right out the gate. If three
Yep.
people can do it right.
Yeah.
Surely
So there's the settlement that's trying to reestablish the stronghold, the search party, and then you guys are basically just trying to see what happened, rescue anyone that you find along the way, deem if it's safe to keep sending more people, or just report back whatever you find.
well, no, it's
and
safe
you
to
will-
send more people if we don't show back up.
Yes.
Send more
Yeah.
to find out what happened to those jackasses.
Yeah, that's why.
There's
So
another over here.
they're sending a much more sizable crew this time. So each of you are piloting a crew of 4 great adventurers who were scrounged up and paid a handsome 50 gold per person to outfit themselves and get on their way. So you've each been promised a sum of 200 gold on your arrival back, or I guess that's per party, so another 50 gold if you make it back. And then depending on how many people make it back alive, there is up to another 100 gold that you'll receive upon coming back per person. So we'll pay pretty well. But yeah, so you guys are out traveling in the forest. And let me change screens here. When you come to, it's probably all black. Let me scroll down.
This map is
Oh,
quite
that is a
large.
huge map. Oh my god.
It is a big map. It's a spacious map, though. There's a lot of dead space in it, but
So much
I-
room
Just
for
scroll down. It's
activities.
fine.
Oh,
there's a
what the
lot.
hell?
Yeah. So you guys are pretty far down. Feel free to zoom out a little bit. And
Felmarsh real quick.
it's definitely still forest and not icy tundra. That's not what you see down there. But you you guys find there is a river that passes through by the stronghold. Above you, probably another few hundred feet out, you do see the walls standing. You can't see over them. They seem to be intact. A lot of them, a lot of the parts of the walls have been recently maintained and rebuilt. There's some hefty gates that stand closed, and seems to be in good shape. You don't see like really anything other than that, though. You don't see any smoke. You don't see any light. Not really any signs of people from within the stronghold.
Is this like built into the mountain?
Yeah, so they're kind of. So there's a mountain on the back side of it, and this fort like kind of comes out of it a little bit. So you see like there's these walls that kind of box out in front, and it goes back into it, and then you would know that it goes in and under the mountain.
Fancy.
Yes.
So-
fancy.
One thing that you do see, though, as your eyes are drawn to the fort pretty much instantly because it's the biggest structure here, and that's what you've been told about, this big stronghold that used to be one of the key points of the Elven society that lived out here. So as you're looking at that, you don't see any lights or anything, but you do see a bit of a campfire off in this area. You'll see there's this part of there's kind of like this clearing of trees. That's words that make sense. Out on the front right side here, or to your right off the path. So see there's some trees there. Looks like there's maybe like a campfire or something. You can just kind of see a little bit of smoke smoldering up. You figure that may have been where one of the camps had stayed. That's pretty much it. That's what you see. You see closed gates ahead and some smoke in this old campsite
Really
off
quick,
to the right.
before we go, do we want to do a real quick character introduction?
Yes. So, as you guys are scanning this scenery, who is it that each of you are, piloting tonight? So we'll go down in the order of the overlay. Dan, who is your party of 4?
Hey, I have decided that all of my characters are named Sean, of some variation of the spelling Sean,
Okay.
so that eventually there can only be one Sean.
Yeah, this will be the ultimate way to determine the correct spelling. Whoever is the last alive.
The ultimate Sean will be the last one standing.
Yeah. All right.
But I have a caravan guard, a dwarven rat catcher, a cat purse, and a fortune teller.
Nice.
I'm sure they're all very primed for
They
combat.
sound great at rescuing.
Yes, I'm sure they'll do wonders at, especially the fortune teller. I mean, they probably
Yeah.
already know what's going on already.
Yep. All right. Jake, who is your party of 4?
Well, my party of 4 consists of a stable boy named Grant, an animal trainer named Mitch, a begging monk named Styx, and a miller/baker named Volo.
All right. Is this perhaps the same Volo of old, or just a coincidental naming?
It's not the same, but it's like it's an Elseworlds version.
Okay.
What
Less
if
than
Volo
coincidental.
were in a different game?
Sure. That works. All right. And then Liz, who are your 4 lucky adventurers?
I don't know if lucky is the right word for it, but I've got the barber named Sweeney. I've got a halfling mariner named Kevin H.
Okay.
We have a squire called S. Yeah, I don't know. And a weaver called Basket.
Nice. All right. Sounds great. Tyler, your party of 4.
My party of 4, well, it started with my smuggler, who is Han, or Han, a herder named Chewie, a gravedigger named Darth, and a beekeeper named Luke.
All right. All right.
Hey, Kyrian. Thanks for the
I'm picturing like a beekeeping farm out on Tatooine now, and that sounds horrible.
It's just
But,
way too hot. It's just
I mean-
loads of dead bees everywhere.
It's just all desert.
He comes back instead of the stormtroopers killing his parents, it's just bees.
The bees.
All right. All right. Sounds like a great group. So, yeah, you guys managed to scramble up past this. There's like a bit of a collapsed bridge. You kind of waded through the water. And you've just got this kind of. There's like a little bit of a pathway that's kind of beat out of the grass. There's like grassland and some sparse trees all over. But you do see there's definitely a path leading to the gate there. And you can tell there's been some camp set up to the right. So, where do you go?
You
May not
said
hurt to
there
check out
was,
those camps there.
You said there
Okay.
was smoke from that camp, right?
Yeah, there's like a small tinge of smoke. Like you only notice it as you're kind of scanning out, trying to look over the top of this the wall over here. But you do see there's like this spindly bit, remnants of that campfire probably.
All right. I don't think my characters are smart enough to know to be sneaky, so
Okay. So you waltz on up.
just meandering on towards it so I can be the first to die.
Okay.
An achievement.
So you wander through. You don't see anybody, but you make it up to this little campsite, and you see that there's been several tents that are set up. A few of them have had like a few of their spokes taken out, just maybe by like wind or something. Looks like they've just been set up and sitting here for probably a while. You know, it's been a few weeks since the last party hasn't returned. It was quite a while before they were able to scrounge all of you guys up. So, you know, it just looks like this site sat here a while. But you estimate this is probably the campsite of the last search party that came out this direction.
Is the smoke actually coming from here then? Like there's a fire?
Yeah, so there is a bit of a fire that is like embering, smoldering. Looks like there was a pretty big bonfire at one point in the center of that camp, and it's just a little bit of ash and stuff in the middle. Yeah, looks like a little bit bigger than what you typically would need for a campsite. But you see that definitely in the center.
Oh, maybe I'll kind of start going through the tents and see if there's anything,
Okay.
notes or something that might suggest who they were, what they were doing, what they were, where they went to before they disappeared.
Sure. So you start going through. You notice most of the tents are pretty much empty. So you figure, whatever equipment they had with them, they still have on them. Yeah, they weren't like ambushed or something. It doesn't seem like they left their stuff behind. Because most of these tents seem to be empty. They've got maybe like a sleeping bag in them or something. But you don't see a whole lot of like equipment or bags left over. And you don't really see any signs of a struggle or anything in any of these either. They all just seem to be kind of weathered. A lot of like brush and debris is kind of blown inside of some of them, like leaves and such. You don't see any like notes or equipment left over.
How inconsiderate of them.
Yeah. No journal entries that trail off as they die writing it. Yeah.
No real sign that like left in a hurry or anything like that.
So you start looking to see if they left in a hurry. And you don't really you think maybe they might have because they left the campsite up. And you do see that there is like one tent that looks like it was there at at one point, and is no longer there. Like you still see the stakes in it, but it looks like it's been removed. So you're not entirely sure, but if they did leave, they didn't leave so rushed that they had to leave everything behind, but they didn't have enough time to take their tents with them.
Does it look like they're the ones that started the bonfire?
Yeah, so you start investigating the bonfire, like looking at it.
Yeah.
What's in the fire?
Yeah,
Was
is
it
there
better
anything
things
weird in
that
the
were
fire?
burned?
So as you start sifting through it, or looking at it, you notice that there, on kind of like the inside of it, there is like a little set of stones. So it looks like at one point it was a normal sized campfire that they had set up, but there's all of this debris and like logs and twigs and brush that looks like it had been stacked up to be a pretty large bonfire. Um, and as you sift through it, you see like what maybe might be like a leftover bones or something from a meal that they had. But you notice these bones are kind of misshapen and extra long, some of them. Like you see what looks like, oh, this should probably be like a chicken bone or something, but it's way longer than it should be. It's like got a weird bend in it or something. Like, doesn't look right. And there's a lot of these bones.
Mutant chickens.
Are
Hmm.
there any signs of like tracks in the area, either leading to or from the campsite?
Um,
Or
yeah,
after?
give me a, let's see, that'd be like an intelligence.
Ooh, that sounds like a terrible idea.
And one thing to note with DCC is your usually checks are like much lower to score. Like a 5 is usually good enough to get some information here. It's a lot lower than like D&D, where you've got higher modifiers.
Oh,
17, excellent. Okay, so yeah, you search around, and that 17 for your intelligence is definitely enough to pick up. So you see there's a group of tracks that seems kind of to be walking in a tight formation away from the center of the camp towards the that path that leads up to the doors of the fort that you're by, the stronghold. It seems to kind of like trail off in this direction. So you figure that might have been like if they had been here and then gone towards the stronghold, that's probably the path. And it looks like there's a lot of footprints going back and forth kind of along that. So if they were here for a few days, they may have been going back and forth. Um, and then you see a lot of footprints around this bonfire. And you see a single set of prints that kind of goes off over this direction.
Hmm.
okay. If I could, I'd like to wander off in the direction of just where like that single path was.
Okay. So you start following it. One thing that you notice, I'll give it to you, especially with that 17. Looks like one of the feet is like dragging or something. It's kind of like an irregular step. Like the other ones look like just normal prints, but this one's got like every so often they're like really close together, or there's like a longer one always on the right side there. So maybe they're like injured or something weird's going on there.
Is there
But you
any
follow that.
sign of blood in the dirt?
You don't see any blood. You're pretty confident that you don't see any blood. Not, I guess, not along this path. You would see around this bonfire, though, that there is some trace amounts of like blood and like burnt charcoaly, like flesh almost, just on various parts around this bonfire. But along this path of like the kind of stumbling footsteps, you don't see any blood. But yeah, you start heading out that direction. And it kind of, these footsteps go around a few times. They change directions and they seem to be going to like bushes and trees and things weaving back and forth. And as you're trailing them, you start hearing this rustling sound ahead of you. Sounds like just like branches being kind of shook around.
There could be a drunk.
A trunk? Well, it would explain the shambly footsteps.
Half man, half bear.
Half
Half pig.
alcoholic.
That's a
Man
lot of
bear.
halves.
An alcoholic bear.
Oh no,
Oh no.
An
one-
alcoholic werebear.
that's my father.
Oh no.
Aw! Oh my god.
But
I think I'll
yeah, you
have
just hear this rustling.
Kevin H go out and see if they can see what's going on with the rustling in the bushes and the trees.
Okay. So yeah, he hears this rustling. Kevin H decides to go check it out, and he moves up. It's pretty easy to locate where the sound's coming from. Like the wind that's going through the trees kind of bounces it around a little bit, but it's not too hard to eventually come across. On the opposite side of one of these trees, as you're approaching, you see a person. He's got his back to Kevin, and looks like he's wearing a cloak, and the hood's like partially down. He's got a satchel on his side, but the strap's like kind of hanging off his shoulder almost a little bit. And he seems to be like bent over in a brush next to this tree, and he's just digging through the dirt and through the bush. And you see him grabbing like handfuls of earth and then sifting through it with his hands and bringing it up to his face, and then stuffing it into like pockets or inside of parts of his clothes, inside of his satchel. Just seems to be like going at it. Doesn't seem to notice Kevin at all.
Gotcha.
It's like
Might approach him, be like, "Hey, are you doing okay? What's going on here?"
So you call out like, doing all right? What's going on? And as Kevin approaches, he doesn't seem to initially react. Like his hands don't stop or anything, but he continues, and you just hear this kind of muttering, like, collect, collect. And you just hear this muttering over and over again of him just saying, collect, collect.
Okay.
His head kind of slowly turns to the side, and you get like a side profile of his face. He looks pretty pale, is a little bit gaunt. Doesn't look very well. He looks almost like a little bit sickly, and just doesn't really seem to like look at anything in particular. He just kind of turns towards the direction that he heard Kevin, but his hands still seem to just be aimlessly going in front of him, collecting automatically.
Okay. I think Kevin might shout back through the brush, be like, "Hey fellas, there's something funky going on over here."
boy, already.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Oh,
she calls
Sean.
back.
The Sean Battle Royale will approach.
All right. Sean's come up. Same thing. You just see this guy. He did turn as he heard Kevin call out, but after he stops talking, his head just kind of drifts back, and he's staring in front of him as his hands are moving. After a little bit, he starts to get up, and his legs like almost buckle a little bit as he's standing, and he starts to just kind of limp his way around, and you see him dragging his hands along the top of these brushes, and you just continue to hear him mumble, collect, collect.
What you collected? Maybe.
And then he turns, and you see his hands, like, as he's facing you, you just see, like, he's covered in dirt. He's got brush and stuff kind of all shoved over him. But you see he has a lot of the same plant just tucked into, like, his cloak and his shirt and his bag. It says, ingredients, collect ingredients.
need ingredients for 'em. Maybe we can help.
Ingredients, and he kind of looks to the side. He doesn't really seem to make too much eye contact with you. His eyes are almost like not really focusing too well on anything.
100-yard stare.
A little bit, yeah. He says, help collect. And he nods, and you see him reach inside of his bag, and he pulls out what looks like this weird kind of, it's almost like a weed looking plant. It's pretty nasty looking. But it's got some pricks and stuff on it, and you see his hands have definitely been like cut up by this plant. They don't look very good, and he's like got all sorts of cuts, and there's dirt in him and things. Like he's not really taking good care of himself, it looks. But he comes up and he sets this plant in your hand, and then he tries to like close your hand on it, not like forcefully, but he like puts it in your hand and closes it. He says, collect, and then turns around and starts running his hands through the bushes until he finds what looks like another patch of this plant, and he starts pulling at it.
After we collect, what do we do?
Return. And he just points a hand off, and he points towards the stronghold.
Doesn't seem dangerous, so I would almost assume that we just go check out the stronghold, because if he's looking for ingredients for whatever, I don't really feel like he's doing much more than picking through the bushes, if you get what I mean.
And you can see, like, he's not armed. Like, you don't see any weapons on him. You do see that he's got, like, a sheath for a short sword, but there's no sword in it. And he's got his cloak. He has leather armor on, but it doesn't look like he's got any weapons on him. And he's just got his bag that's stuffed full of this plant.
Well, he doesn't necessarily seem threatening, so our better bet would probably be to go to the stronghold and see what's going on there. So
All right.
maybe
I'll
head
see if I
back
can't
to-
find one of these plants that he's looking for and collect some of it for myself.
Okay. Give me an intelligence test.
Yeah, ready?
I was gonna say, can we identify what these plants are at all?
Yeah, you can do that also with the intelligence test.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Since he
No,
gave
bad intelligence
one of them,
just.
I will give it a try.
So, Jake, you're not really able to find them. You like start looking, but you seem to keep finding places that he's already been. So, like, you see places where it's been dug up, but you don't find
All
any
the
plant
obvious
yourself.
places.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then Daniel and
check
Liz,
will-
were these to identify it?
Yeah, my check was to identify it, and then
Okay.
maybe afterwards I'll look for some more if I know what more about it.
All right. All right. So you guys identified this plant as dripwheat. And Liz, you know that it's dripwheat. You know that it's used for some, like you hear apothecaries and alchemists like it, but you don't really remember exactly what for. But Daniel, with that 17, you know that this is used to make, it's used very commonly in acidic potions. So it's usually one of the main ingredients when people are trying to make some sort of acid or corrosive.
Oh no. I feel that there's danger for my skin in the future.
Maybe not the only thing.
You're gonna have a wicked trip, bud.
Could be that kind of acid too.
Yeah, not that kind of acid. No, like definitely corrosive.
Well, you can still
Um,
hallucinate. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're dying.
Melting off.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
see all the colors
Yeah.
running together as my eyes drag out of my skull.
Yeah. Everything's kind of melding together. But yeah, you identify dripwheat. Um,
I'll
and
try
then
and
he's got all sorts of it. Um,
I was gonna try and look for some too, but I'm probably not gonna find anything.
okay.
with that.
And then kind of the same thing. You keep looking around, and you only seem to be finding the spots that he's already been. Um, as both you and Jake are searching, it looks like he's been doing this for a long time. Because you're searching the area and you just see all sorts of places that he's already been through and put this together. Like, looks like he's been at, like, maybe not just him or something, but definitely it seems like people have been through here looking for this for a while.
Hmm. Well, if I can't find any more, we've got at least one.
Yeah, and you still have the one that he gave you. All right.
Safe passage, hopefully.
Do
Look,
we head back to the camp and see if there's anything more we can find there, or do we just want to head straight to the stronghold?
all 16 of us, and we found one.
Yep.
I'm down for
Obviously,
going to the
we're
stronghold.
quite an adept group.
Yes.
Oh yeah. A great range of skills, none of which are useful.
We're
All
interesting,
right.
not good at things.
Okay.
Ah,
I say as I almost knock my drink
Oh, no.
out. Sorry, that scared me.
Okay. So you said you guys want to go back to the stronghold? Or go up
Yeah.
to the stronghold, I guess?
Yeah, or did we
think
want to
so.
check out the campsite first?
I mean,
You-
See if there's anything more there.
I can sure try. I imagine that place got picked through first, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, your
Long
first
then.
trip through, you didn't see any, like, stacks of plants or anything like that.
Alright, cool.
I'm gonna just slowly plod my way on over to the gate. Although I do kind of want to check out these seemingly crossbow things. You know,
Yeah.
Before I just
So-
walk out in the open, just get
You see, they're not. They don't look to be in good enough condition to fire, but you definitely see like where ballistas would normally be mounted on these towers. So
Okay.
there's like some wood rotted away of ones that used to be there.
All right.
You
Well,
can
Sean,
kind of see some debris around it, but
Sean with a W, I think it's gonna go out first.
Go, Sean with a W.
and then these are pretty high up too. They definitely seem to be like the guard towers of this, like especially the tops of them. And there's slits along the walls that seem to be like shaped for archers to shoot out of.
All right, I hope you're all watching. Sean with the W bravely makes his way to the door,
Okay.
unless bravely is followed by the other Seans.
All right. So you go up to the door. You see these two giant. They look to be recently reconstructed, especially relative to all the stonework and stuff near it. You see there's still some debris kind of to the left and the right of some old rotted wood. But it looks like there's these two pretty sturdy like oak doors, and then they've got a few metal inserts for bracing on them. And there's like double door set. They seem to be closed.
Any idea which way they open? Do they look like they pull or push?
It looks like they open in.
Okay, I got some 10-foot pulls. The collective Seans will take their 10-foot pulls and push on the door.
Okay.
That way they can all die by the same trap.
All right. So are you pushing on the right door then?
I kind of figure that there's got to be 2 Seans on each door.
Okay. So 2 Seans on each door. So they both go to push on these doors. Give me a strength check for each group.
Oh my.
Do they have advantage because they have technically another person assisting them?
I'll factor that into the,
No.
Believe it or
the
not,
DC.
all 4 of the Seans have a +1 in strength.
Wow.
So I can give you 4 rolls if you want, or 2 rolls.
Just 2, and then I'm considering it a lower check.
Oh my gosh. Some of
Okay.
these Seans
The
feel real
beefy.
strong today.
So the first Sean's with the 9 actually pretty easily push open their door. It seems like their door was open. The Sean's that rolled the 20, however, they have a bit of resistance at first, but you hear this loud snap as their pole just seems to push it. And you hear like this bending of wood. You see like a little bit of a plank almost kind of spiral off above the door as it kicks open. So it looks like only the left side of the door was left open, but now both are.
Sean's weren't going to be stopped for nothing.
Way to go, Sean!
Hell yeah.
All right. And you hear that plank like land and kind of clatter. Looks like the doors are open.
Well, they know we're here now.
Let me
Sean's
do
aren't known
some
for being quiet
reveal a ring.
or something. I don't know.
The Seans are known for their great strength. That's why there can only be one.
If there's more than one Sean that survived at the end of this, they actually have to fight each other.
Such is the way of a Sean.
Shaun of the Dead?
One of them will be. All right. Then, Tyler, are you able to move your token? Is that working for you? The orange one down here?
Quite lonely down at the bridge still.
It is. Yeah, it'll let me move it. I was,
Okay.
Oh gosh, my scroll wheel is fucked up for some reason now.
Oh, you're fine. I just want to make sure it wasn't busted. I'll move you up here. So
Looks
yeah,
like
you
it's-
guys get through these doors. You see it's like another set of doors on the inside, and it seems like step up a little bit. And there's like these big open spaces. You see that there has been what looks like scaffolding set up recently, and there's still bits of it kind of here and there. Most of it's kind of disassembled and laying there. You see just lots of just looks like people have some tools and things out. It seems to be kind of like the staging area for the reconstruction, all just right within the front of the store, and that is all kind of like laid out over here. You don't see any people, don't hear anything, but you just see like all of these, wood piles, stakes, scaffolding, that type of thing.
Interesting.
Okay. So, work in progress suddenly halted.
Yeah, it seems like it. Some of it looks like it's pretty neatly stacked. And you think maybe, they hadn't got to that part yet, but there are definitely some parts where there's like tools still out that are just kind of laying on the ground, or other parts. Like it looks like parts of it definitely were abruptly stopped.
Okay. Wow. Should we just move along to the next set of doors?
Could probably at least check and see if they're open.
The next set of doors,
Yeah.
All right. So you go up to these doors, and when you push on them, you find the same thing. Like the left one is open. The right seems to be like locked in place by some board or something on the other side of it.
Let's open that left one up then.
They intended for this place to be heavily defended, it looks like.
Oh, maybe it is, and we're just not paying enough attention.
Multiple
Move the
layers of
stream up.
walls.
Yeah.
You see kind of more of this. on this side of the walls, you don't really see as much of the scaffolding and like building materials. You see what looks like the starting of maybe like market stalls or something. You see like they're trying to build kind of structures here. So you see kind of the framing that's built out, maybe to have like a marketplace or something like that over here. You see just lots of partially finished little buildings. Most of them seem to be framed only. None of the roofing's really done or anything like that. None of them seem to be all the way built, but they're all just kind of littered around here, mostly against the wall. It looks like a few have kind of fallen over. Maybe they're blown over in the wind. Like you can see their joints are all kind of still connected, but they've just kind of lost structural stability.
Does it look like
Lopsided
there's been
over.
anyone around here recently?
Give me an intelligence check. See if you can see any
While she's
signs
doing
of.
it, I'm gonna go ahead and like do whatever it takes to open this other door here. That way I can be consistent and have,
Okay.
multiple. It's important.
All right. 16. All right. So with that 16, you look around. As you're searching and you're kind of just wandering through here, you don't really see any signs of people being here recently. But you do see like lots of muddy and like dirty footprints, all up and down this like center path here, and kind of resemble those tracks that you saw earlier when you were looking in the around the campsite of like kind of this weird hobbly walking, and you see just like dirt and debris, and every so often like a leaf of a plant or something like that. Just looks like there's been a lot of traffic back and forth just along this like center column here.
Front to back, or just in like one of these rings or another.
Like through these doors and then straight to these doors, always going through like the left side of them, and it kind of like balloons out in the middle of these paths as if he's like stumbling around on the way there, but always seems like he's going through that left door in each.
All right. Well, I'm still breaking all the right doors anyways. Because consistency now. Consistency.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
And
So,
later when we defend this for some reason, it'll be even harder.
right. So yeah, you're like forcing your way through these doors again,
Sure.
Dan. Okay.
This time all four Seans are taking the door. I assume they can handle it.
Okay. Yeah, and if all four of them are on it, I won't really make you roll for it. Same thing happens. Like left one opens up, no problem. Right one has some resistance, like there's a block or something, but you hear the same just like groaning of wood and then a snap as the door pushes open, and you hear a board like clatter to the ground on the other side. And where all the other areas didn't really show any signs of people or anything. First thing you see in here are some nice friendly blood stains.
Oh, do they look
Delightful.
fresh?
They do look fresh.
Ooh, I like how we didn't even have to roll for that one.
Yep, they're pretty blatant. And
The steward's been here recently.
I don't know how much I appreciate that.
She's been doing some decorating.
yeah, we'll move the stream up here. All right.
I'm gonna chop my hair off again if it doesn't stop sticking up.
And
Sorry, weird side note, but it's driving me nuts.
no, you're fine. Let's see. Yeah, you see blood, and so the other thing here, this is like where the stronghold gets against the rock wall in the back, and it looks a little bit different than what you were expecting. So you had heard that this was kind of like a stronghold that was built into the mountain behind it, and parts of it were like carved out of it, and things like that's the type of architecture you were expecting. A lot of the stone and things of the walls seem to be made out of very similar stone to the mountain behind it. But here, there's a lot of like rubble and debris, it looks like, that have been oh, it doesn't let me click. So like right along like the wall here, there's like rubble and debris, and you see like pieces of worked stone, some like top halves of statues and things that have kind of crumbled and fallen over, and you see pillars. Just a lot of like this kind of intricate stonework. It's just laying kind of smashed all along this border with the mountain. And what looks like used to be maybe a path leading into it is just totally collapsed. And there's this stone building sitting in the front of these steps. These steps look like they used to kind of lead up to a set of big double doors or something. But you don't see those double doors anymore. Instead, there's this slightly different colored stone building that doesn't look to be matching to the rest. And you see it sitting up here.
Okay. Might
Are we
kinda-
able to make out what the rubble is? You said it was decorative, right?
Yeah, so looking at it, as you move up to it, you can tell it looks like this used to be like a grand entrance into the mountain for like the rest of the stronghold on the inside. But it looks like that part of the mountain's been collapsed, maybe deliberately. You see lots of these chunks, like some of them have like some of them look like they just kind of fell apart from force or something, but you see there's some as you're kind of sifting through it. Oh, glad I had the lid on that soda. You see some of the you see some of these pieces of marble have like these wedge-shaped chunks of like really light rock, or almost like maybe a tool or something smashed into it. Almost like it was deliberately closed off. You see it just seems to be completely blocking a path into it, and you don't see it. There's not like a path going up above it or anything. It's just mountain with a pile of rubble keeping it out. And in place of where there looks to have been like grand sets of doors before, is just this like stone building out of slightly different stone.
So do we want to check out the out of place door, or do we want to try and get through the rubble to get to the main entrance?
I don't know if we've got means to get through that. I assume it's like a lot of rubble.
It's a lot of rubble. Also, from what you can tell, a lot of the rubble has like moss and things growing on it. Like, as you're looking
Oh.
through it, it looks like it's been collapsed for a while. You see some roots and things have kind of sprung up. Looks like a lot of it hasn't moved in a while. Some of it's kind of sunk into the ground or the dirt a little bit. There's like patches of this, the floor that have broken through. Looks like most of this rubble's been here a long time. It's weathered even like in the direction that it's been laying.
Okay. So real quick, these recent blood stains, like, are they still like wet, or they just look like they haven't aged significantly, or gotten washed away?
So you look at them, and they look pretty recent. So they're not like fresh, like someone just spilled it maybe today, but it's like a very dark, deep red. It's mostly hardened, maybe been washed away like partially, but definitely recent. You'd think probably within the last week or so.
Any indication that like the stonework was damaged, like if there was combat around here, or was somebody taking an acid bath and just disintegrate here?
Yeah, give me a intelligence check and let's see what
Okay,
what details you get out of it.
I'm gonna get some.
15.
Yes.
So you don't see any like stone chunks really. But you do see a few splashes of acid here and there. You see a lot of like sear and burn marks. Just like little pockets of ash. You actually see like a torch that's kind of been discarded to the side, and around it you see a lot of. It looks like there's a few like burned away residue piles of oil, or like someone dumped oil and lit it at one point. Most of that's kind of faded away a lot, but the blood's still here. And you do see a lot of maybe like sword marks. You see like a bunch of little chips in the ground. Looks like metal weapons were like hitting the ground a lot around these
Okay.
piles
that's kinda
of
what I was-
blood.
Okay, so somebody fought here.
Someone probably got chopped up here.
Sounds like, I mean, it seems like it's a pretty full scale fight.
Yeah.
Swords, acids, fires.
Duffs.
Lions,
Death.
tigers, and bears. Oh my!
Well, I forgot to bring my acid proof raincoat today.
Mhm.
I didn't bring my
And
bears.
so as you guys are in here and you're looking around, evaluating this site, searching the rubble, looking at these bloodstains, you hear some of the doors moving behind you. And I'm assuming you've all have moved up like in these. But you hear these set of doors like move a little bit, and you hear it creak open as you hear the mumbling and stumbling of the man that you saw earlier out in the forest.
It's coming back from behind us.
Yeah, he's coming back
He's
from
coming in.
behind. He's got
Just
like
wanna
a
make sure he
bundle
wasn't
of these
somehow
plant
coming
like
from in front of us.
no, not coming from in front of me. He's coming from behind. Yeah. So looks like he's walked his way back through this stronghold. He's still going only through the left door, even though some of the right doors are open.
Oh, I busted all of them. Oh,
yeah.
it's worth-
Yeah. He's going through like always going through the left, even on the doors that are like not open. Or that are open. Like there's parts where the right doors are open, and he went through the left still. Goes through there. You can see he's got like a bundle of this plant like piled up in his arms, and he has it like tucked into his collar, and just like every space that he could fit this plant, he's got it all over himself. And you see he's getting kind of like allergic reaction or something where it's touching his skin. He's kind of like flaring up in certain places, and his
He's
hands
just not paying
definitely are
attention.
like kind
Yo,
of like,
guy, can
kinda
we like
plain.
help you with some of that? Like, we got some bags we can put it in to help you carry it, so it's
Says-
not like hurting you in the face.
Just keeps mumbling and says, "Return," and he like points up and starts stumbling his way up towards these steps.
I mean, he seems like he knows where he's going. Do we just want to follow him?
I think that's a good idea.
He's very, very slow, so you have plenty of time to make a decision. But he just seems to be kind of stumbling his way. If you question him, he just says, "Return." He points and
All my dudes are getting their weapons ready.
Like, dude doesn't have any kind of like original thought. He's just like,
He's programmed.
yeah,
yeah, pretty
you
much.
definitely get the sense he's not himself. Like his eyes aren't really focusing on anything. He's just muttering single sentences. He's like seems to be under like some spell or something.
The alternative to following him is that we attempt to bonk him out of his spell.
Nah. We can bonk the other guy who's doing the spell.
Okay. I've heard once before that, you can bonk the spells out of people.
It's
I
effective.
mean,
Can
we
be.
might want to follow him.
That one guy who's acting weird in the neighborhood,
Yep.
bonk the
Bonk
weird
the
out.
shit out of him. Yeah.
All right. So
It's a proven method.
he steps up and he climbs the steps, and as he walks up the steps,
Following him, I guess. Not too
he
closely, but
okay.
I want to be able to like,
Yep.
see kind of what he's doing in case he puts
Sure,
in
yeah.
some sort
You're-
of Konami code.
Right. And yeah, you're studying him intently as you're seeing like what he does with this door. And you do pick up on looks like the stone here on this door doesn't really have like a handle or a normal impression. It just looks like these two stone slabs. And as he comes up to it, and he kind of pushes his hand against the left door, and nothing happens for a little bit. And then he kind of leans against it. And as his head makes contact with the door just slightly, you see this like circular rune with purple light up on that side of the door. And it shudders a little bit and slides back along the ground, making this horrible, just like grating sound along the ground.
All right, this might be a free pass in, guys.
He steps in, says, "Return."
I don't really want to put my head on the door.
And the door stays open.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think your head would do anything.
I'm gonna hammer down an iron spike to try and keep the door open,
There you
just
go.
in case.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so it slides almost like into the slot behind the door, or behind like where the door was, and there's definitely like grooves that it looks like it was moving along. So there's plenty of room to hammer a spike in or two.
Here, I'll put a couple in there just to make sure.
Okay. So he goes in, and you see this weird. It's kind of hard to see it on the stream. On the map. You see this like almost looks like an altar. And it's got this golden statue looking thing in the center of it. And it looks to be like this well, you can't really tell what it is by looking right at it. It just looks to be like a golden statue of some kind. It's got like a thick four-legged base that comes up, and then there's like these spindly golden like things that come off the top of it.
Spooky.
And he steps up to it as he wanders in. And you hear him just continue to mumble to himself. As he gets to probably about 5 feet away from it, another similar circle lights up on the ground around it. And then you see that this statue almost has this glowing light behind it of this like slight purplish hue. And he steps up to it, and his head kind of starts rocking back and forth. He's almost having like not quite pain, but it seems to not be super comfortable for him as his mumbling kind of gets erratic. And he drops a few of the leaves, and he goes to like pick them up and drops some more, and his head continues to shake. And then it lets off. And as it does that, he kind of stands there for a little bit, doesn't move, straightens himself back up, picks up the plant, and you hear this loud just clunk echo out from outside. Like sounds way back out, probably around like the first gate.
Well, I can't see it, so.
And then he looks back. He seems to be rejuvenated a little bit, almost like his skin seems to be a little bit more filled out. He's got a little bit more color. Some of the cuts on his hands have closed. His rash has gone down. His eyes are a little bit less bloodshot. He looks a little bit healthier. He doesn't look great, but he definitely looks better than he did just a few seconds ago. And he keeps mumbling, "Return." And he starts walking back out.
He's going back outside?
Yep.
Okay.
And
So nothing apparently opened in here.
not in here. You heard like a loud thud of stone or something from outside. It like echoed over the walls.
So I guess we'll keep following our diligent pathfinder here.
Mhm.
I think that sounds like a plan. Follow him until we see something that needs to die.
And 1 second, the screen's going to black out here because I have to do something.
Oh god. Oh shit.
Oh,
We're all
no.
blinded.
Ah.
You are all blinded for just a moment.
That's what we get for eating too many poisonous plants.
Okay. So you see this area again. This area again. And then this area again.
Okay. I'm trying to trick you to do it on the camera.
And he stumbles out as you follow him. As he goes through this second set of doors, he doesn't head back out. Instead, or actually, these second set of doors here. As he goes through these doors, he curves to his right, starts walking over this way.
Okay.
Imagine our best bet is to follow him.
Yeah.
Did the front doors shut?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. What was that thunk?
So you see, as he's walking over here, a lot of the like scaffolding and things in this front area seem to have fallen over. And you see what he's walking to. There's like a section of the wall that's sunk down into the ground, right here. You see a passage.
Ooh.
Okay.
That was supposed to be revealed.
So we're reusing section of the map. That's kind of neat.
And yeah, so you see this passage that just kind of dips down underneath the wall. And he's stumbling down it slowly. You're
Okay.
muttering, return.
Then
You see
we'll
the
just
entrance to a dungeon.
Sort of stumble similarly afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All
this
right.
might be the easiest dungeon that we've ever explored yet. We just follow the crazy guy.
Yeah.
Surely nothing will come poorly of that.
So, follow him down these steps. The air changes as you go down these steps, and it smells a lot more like musty and kind of gross. It's a little bit more rancid, almost like there's like, the slight. Those of you who had adventured before or seen some horrors, maybe recognize it as like,
Hot rats.
yeah,
Terrifying.
yeah. You recognize it definitely as the stench of death. Doesn't smell particularly great. He seems to be walking down these steps like he's done it a million times. Walks in. There's a small wooden door. He pushes past it. And it seems to like go to kind of close behind him automatically, like it's on a saloon door or something.
We'll probably, catch it and spike it shut. Or open. Sorry, open.
Okay. Yeah, and it's
Nobody's ever
you
leaving this dungeon.
you catch it, and it doesn't seem to have a whole lot of resistance. It seems pretty easy to push past, but you're definitely able to spike it.
Kevin H gets
Later.
whacked in the face because he's too short.
You see what looks to be a partial like lab almost. So let me move the stream. We'll zoom in here because We're in the dungeon now. So you see this like kind of staging alchemical lab area. Looks like. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Hide. There we go. And you see just piles and piles around another similar statue of this like four-legged thing with these like spindly gold spires coming off the top of it. And just all around the center here, you see just piles and piles of this plant that he's been collecting. Lots of loose dirt too. Looks like this just has been where he's dumping. And you see him doing that. Like he's just pulling it out of his shirt and cloak and everywhere that he's had it stuffed from his collection. And he turns his bag over and dumps it out and adds to this pile here. You see all over this room, there's like just bottles and like mortar and pestles, and this looks to be like a processing room for this plant of some kind. Because you see like there's just leaves and bits of it kind of dragged everywhere.
Oh snap!
And-
The lollygaggers are here.
Oh sweet.
Yeah.
Welcome. We're doing a little one-shot on a different place in the continent of where my basic fantasy role-playing game is taking place. These guys are looking into the disappearance of a settlement that was trying to reestablish a foothold at a stronghold. And they just seem to be entering the dungeon, so good timing.
Yeah. There's a crazy person who we've been following because they seem to know what they're doing. So we're
Yep.
like, this guy, one of us.
Yeah, they've been following this crazy guy who's been collecting plants, and he led them into the dungeon. But yeah, it just seems to be like this staging area for this plant. You see this plant's like all over the place in piles. You see bundles of it on some of these tables, and it's been getting like grinded up and processed. Some of them are being dried out. You see some like tubes of this weird colored liquid. You see like burn marks and spills all over the place. There's like bits of the tail and chunks of it missing here and there. And you see like some weird discolorations in the ground that kind of trail all the way out this door.
Okay.
But as soon as he's done dumping all of the plant that he's found, he stops muttering return and then goes back to muttering collect and turns right back around and heads out.
All right. So now do we bonk him?
Bonk him on the head.
Yeah, I'll wait until he starts to move past me, then I'll attack him from behind with a blackjack.
Oh god!
There you go. That's a good bonking weapon.
Okay.
Don't kill him.
No, it only does subdual damage.
Okay.
And the
Slap,
naughty jail.
slap.
Subdue them to death.
Indeed.
Yeah, if you want to do that roll.
You ready? Holy
Oh,
crap.
perfect. You crit. Yeah, I'm going to say no problem. So are you like trying to knock him out or just like...
Yeah, a blackjack only does knockout damage.
Okay, are you... Is that your goal, is to completely knock him unconscious, or...
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you do that. He turns around, you hear him mumble, like, collect, and just thump, collapses on the ground with a crack to the back of his head.
Good
Doesn't
job.
seem to be, like, dead or anything. Definitely you seem to have knocked him out, because you hear him start snoring. But yeah, he's just out cold.
He needs
Probably the
this.
only sleep he's gotten in months.
We'll probably like tie him up.
Yeah, I've only got
Okay.
one rope, so you'll have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just tie some off on him and then cut the rope, so I don't have to leave the whole rope here for him.
Okay. Is there any particular place you're leaving him? Just like in the door here?
Is there any like are these like benches kind of in the top here or something?
They're like workbenches. There's like a little bit of like a study over here that has a chair.
Maybe we'll put him in the chair.
Okay. You do so. So there's like a little chair in this cubby here, and
You know, that way he looks like he's
Set him on
busy
it.
or something.
yeah. So, yep, you do that. He's out cold, snoring. You slip him. So you're like tying him to the chair.
I think so.
Okay. You do so.
It's not a wheelie chair or anything, right?
No, no, it's just like a, wooden chair. So
He's kind of
nothing fancy at all.
Later.
It's got
make sure,
pretty
like-
old wood, but looks to be in good enough condition.
I'll make sure to like tie him like to himself first, bind him up so if he feels crazy and like breaks the chair to get free, he's still bound.
Okay,
Going the extra mile
Yeah.
here.
for sure.
And then maybe I'll
And
stuff
he's
him.
out. He's not resisting or anything. So yeah, you're able to do it. You spend some time, bind him up.
Maybe we can stuff all this collected up materials into a large sack or something.
Okay.
Oh, I've got a
There-
large sack.
There is a lot in this room. You'd probably be able to get about 80% of it in a large sack, and that would be like if it's like, ballooned up, completely stuffed full.
Each one of my characters have a large sack, so maybe we'll just divvy it up across the 4 of them.
Okay, you can more comfortably fit it into 3 sacks.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
Good thinking,
you said-
Sean's.
we don't know what this chemical or plant does. We just know he's been collecting it, correct?
Right. The only thing that it's called dripwheat, and that it's used in alchemy, usually to aid in the process of creating corrosives.
Oh, okay. Creating acids.
Yep.
Okay. I feel like I missed that part, but okay.
Yeah, that's what Dan found out when he got one of them put in his hand.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, you've got this guy knocked out. There's another door to the south at the base of this room. Again, you see like this discolorations all over the floor.
Yeah, I was
Um,
really tired and that call woke me right the fuck back up, so.
As you're packing all of this this drip wheat back into these sacks, you notice at the bottom some of them seem like they've been laying there on the ground for a while. They're pretty dried out compared to all the other ones.
Okay. I was kind of curious about that. So
Yeah. So
whoever has asked them to collect the stuff isn't retrieving it.
yeah, it looks like it's been sitting there a while.
What is this section right here? I just
which
pinged it
one?
on the map.
Oh, right here. So this is like
Yeah.
a little cubby with some extra tables. It looks like they've just got
Okay.
little
Okay.
tools and measuring instruments. And there was a chair there, which we have the
Okay,
guy who
that's
was
where we
collecting
tied him
bound
up.
to. Yep.
Okay.
Let me actually draw a little thing here. That's where man's at.
Cool.
The collector.
Yep. Yeah, and he's out cold. He seems to be resting. He still looks better. He still looks like whatever he did when he interacted with that like altar thing near the entrance. It seemed to have rejuvenated him a lot. Like he's looking a lot better.
Kind of want to go back and see if one of us headbutts it, if it does the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, you can. It's a pretty short trek. So
I mean,
if
hit you with a blackjack first, so that we know that it does something.
Yeah. gotta rough him up first.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, like, you run up there, you'll see that the door has tried to move back, the one that Jake had staked in place.
Okay.
And there were 2, so there was, like, a stone slab on each side. You see that it's shifted, but it definitely seems to be, like, wedged. It's a little bit, like, off the track, and definitely stuck by these metal stakes. But there's another door identical to it. And then since you saw where this little sigil lit up, Looking at this story, you can pretty quickly see that there's some like really light engraving in this door that has that same
Forehead
symbol.
go here.
Yeah, can we recognize what the writing is or anything like that?
It's not writing; it's just like a bunch of symbols, like arcane sigils and things. But you can definitely make an intelligence on that. It'll be a pretty high check because I don't know if any
have
of
one
you
of my
guys are
smarter ones do it.
spellcasters.
They don't know anything.
Yeah, not able to make it out. You definitely know it's arcane of some kind, but not able to determine what exact like school or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Definitely arcane though. But yeah, are you gonna like mimic what he did to the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if
Okay,
maybe if I smash my head against it, if it does anything.
sure. Yeah, you go to like move your head against it, nothing happens.
Okay, so I don't know what that really tells me, other than either someone's controlling him or he's got a rock in his head that makes the.
He's got an RFID chip on his skull.
Exactly.
He's been vaccinated for COVID.
Oh God.
You can
No,
badge
let's
in over
not.
here.
Picking up 5G.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. Bill Gates let him in. But yeah, you're not able to move it. Like you know, try doing all the same motions and things that he did. He was not moving a whole lot, so it's pretty quick to try everything. Doesn't seem to react to you at all.
Okay.
So seems to be something specific to his condition. Was
That almost makes me worry
True.
if we try to go deeper into the stronghold without him, if we'll be able to actually get anywhere. Or if
Cut
we'll
his
have
head
to,
off?
break
it?
the doors down.
Well, it did
No, don't break
seem
his head
like
off.
it did seem like he wasn't trying to go deeper into the stronghold at all. Like he just went straight to this pile where he was dumping it and then left. And it
To his
didn't look
partner.
like none of the other parts seemed to have required that that sigil. Like the only place you saw the sigil was that statue in that room.
Just walking in and out.
And realistically, it's almost like he expects someone to come here and take the next step.
Right.
Yep.
Because if he's just been coming back to this area and then leaving again.
All right. Well, I suppose should we mosey on down then?
Yeah. We can
Alright.
shun the door down
Okay. So
with our 10
technically-
foot poles.
Yeah, you're able to push it with a 10-foot pole. Opens towards you though, so like you push on it, it doesn't move out. You see that it should swing towards you.
All right. Well, I got a grappling hook, so I'll use some of that same rope and tie the grappling
Okay.
hook to one of the 10-foot poles, and we'll shun the door in instead.
All right. So you do that. You pull at the door, and
Sounds
it opens to
numbered.
reveal this tiny little room here. And looks like, you can see from probably right about here that there's a set of double doors, and then another door at the south.
Hmm.
Double doors typically signify importance, so why don't we check those?
You want to do the single door first or the double doors first?
I was thinking the double doors.
Oh, go
See
for,
if we
go
can
Be
for
Be
the
sure
gold.
to move your
Yeah.
tokens around where you guys are moving to.
That way you all can get trapped in the same trap as I do.
Haha!
All right.
Ooh.
So
Always
first
be
person
one
into the
room
room.
behind, ready to run it.
I guess here's where I forgot to mention you should have a order that your party is traveling in. So like typically when we're playing DCC, we'll say like this character's in the front and then this character's behind him, behind him. So
1,
if
2, 3,
you're
4.
walking in a straight line and you happen to trigger a trap or something, it will affect people in that order.
I love the discretion there.
Yeah. So just quickly do that. Decide like what your marching order is of your 4.
I already know the order of mine
Okay.
as ordered by the sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go.
That
You know what,
works.
yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. So you step into this room and pretty much
Step into the room.
immediately upon entering the room, the floor gives way
Oh god,
to
no.
this spike trap.
Half,
My
of
ass.
the play-
So-
half of the players have killed their parties.
Rip.
I'll ask that Tyler and Liz, since both of you attempted to move into this room, give me a reflex save. We'll see how your character.
Is it just the
is out
the
there.
front one in our party? That we're-
Yes, should just be the front one of both of your party.
Okay.
Is it a D20?
Presumably, if the first person
Yes,
falls
yep.
in the pit, the second person might stop. They're just gonna-
Hopefully.
You
Yeah.
would assume you see
Whoop.
someone go down.
they're gonna be like the lemmings and just all walk in there.
Oh, come on.
Oh wait, why did that roll twice?
Sure.
Ooh,
Should I just
But,
retype it, or do you want to just take one of those?
that's.
I'll just take the first one that rolled. So
Okay.
it's the one that should have. Yeah. Unfortunately, both of those are not gonna cut it. As the rest of you hear screams and then some fleshy sounds as two of your party members fall into a spike pit.
He only had
Um,
1 hit point, so he didn't suffer
damn.
long.
Okay, he's he's dead. It's going to deal
1 point of damage.
1 point of damage.
Oh no.
Just enough.
How much health does your first person have, Tyler?
4.
Okay, so
Ooh.
you
None of my
hear
characters are that weak health wise, thankfully.
so you hear a scream that's cut short and a scream that is not, as Tyler's character at the bottom of this pit is billowing out in pain. And then Liz, I'm going to move you back here, and I'm going to say that's where the rest of your party is.
Rest in pepperoni.
I can try and reach in with my grappling hook pole
Yep,
and try
Yeah.
and fish him out.
sure. And then I'll say make an agility test, Tyler.
Agility instead of reflex.
Yeah, this is for climbing out.
Okay. Oh, it's the same roll. Fortunately. Hey, a 10.
Okay, yeah, and
I
that's
got it.
plenty. With Dan helping you up, one of the Shans, you are
Thanks.
easily able to pull up. You've got like a scratch along your arm where one of the spears got you, but you're in decent shape.
May try and fish.
Unfortunately.
Hey, can you grab my stuff?
Yeah, well,
on your
I
way
was
out.
I was gonna see if I could fish victim number 1 out.
Okay,
That's
yeah, give me an agility test as well.
Okay. In theory, I should be good at this.
In theory, in practice?
All right, and just barely,
Just
you are able to get your rope looped around. You pull them off the spike, and their corpses limply pulled back and reeled in, and you're
There
able to
we
get
go.
the equipment off your catch.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yep, so you were able to redistribute your equipment along the rest of your party.
All right.
It wasn't long for this world.
We'll this door on the other side, does it push or pull?
Pushes.
All right. Would I be able to push on it with a 10-foot pole?
Yes, so you'd be able to, barely get the end on it, but it doesn't seem to have like much resistance. So you push on it, it's not locked, and it swings open.
Okay. What I might do,
use-
if we can be crafty, is maybe take one of these workbenches from up here and make a little bridge
There you go.
across.
Yeah, you're able to do that for sure.
That's thinking
Oh.
with thinking.
Thinking
Yeah.
with portals or workbenches. As it
Thinking
is.
with your thinking brain. What's that? Wow. Oops.
I
Thinking
clicked
with
on the wrong-
workbenches.
There was also that entire room filled with spare tables and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah, or there's all the construction supplies if we went all the way back out into the yard.
True.
Yep.
Okay. So you do so. You stack. You're able to pretty easily stack these tables in here, and we'll basically negate that spike trap from being an issue. These tables are plenty long enough that you're able to cross easily. So yeah, you see down this hallway here, it opens up into a room. Where are you guys moving to next?
All right. This might be one of those situations where we gotta like do the blind man thing and wave 10-foot poles around.
Right.
Were we gonna go through the double door first or the single door? I couldn't remember.
I mean, probably so, but I was just gonna use this as open that one up so there was room. now.
Yeah, I got you to maneuver.
Can I actually grab one of the extra chairs from that room to like put it on the ground in front of us as we walk to make sure there's nothing on the floor?
Yeah, you can do that. There's another chair in there. So you're wanting to use it kind of just as like a probe in front of you.
I've got a walker. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
for
about those workbenches? How are those attached? Just via chains to the wall? Or?
So these ones were just kind of freestanding, and then one of them was used to split this room, so you're able to go across it. But all of these tables seem to be just freestanding in the room. You're able to move them, and they're pretty
Excuse me.
not like crudely assembled, but simply assembled. They're not like really ornate or carved wood. It's pretty much just like
We're
cut
finding
to
a
the
big
size it
hole.
needed, and yeah, they're pretty simple construction.
Got them from Walmart.
Yeah,
House brand.
IKEA.
the old IKEA. Yeah,
But they didn't
Yeah.
get the Asus ROG furniture from IKEA then.
yeah, no,
You see that's a thing.
yep. But yeah, so there's a set of double doors and then a set of doors going down. So
We'll try
where do
and
you wanna
open the double doors up real quick too, just so we can
Okay.
compound our messes.
There you go.
So you see.
Make it as hard as possible. Interesting.
Actually.
It looks
Okay.
like it goes down. You can't see like how far down that goes.
Sure.
But as you're like stepping through, looks like you see this.
Okay. Well,
So
which way do we feel like looking into?
Well, they look
And-
like they might connect.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do we want to just check out the single room first?
I'm kind of tempted to go through, just keep on going straight for a moment. But
Yeah.
Yeah, if that looks
I
like that's
will
something we
just
can't get
take my
around.
10-foot
then-
pole and just do 10-foot pole things up to the edge here.
okay. Yep. You tap along, nothing happens. And you find you walk into this room, and it's kind of like a there's like a bunch of racks, and it looks like it's like a storage room for potions. And there's like a rug on the ground. It looks to be there to like, it's pretty cushioned and like matted. Maybe it's there so that in case you were to drop like a bottle or something, it wouldn't break.
Well, maybe
and
it's there
then
to
you see-
cover up a trapdoor.
And you see there's like wooden shelving all around and lots of slots for bottles. Most of them seem to be empty. Just by doing a quick glance, it looks like most of them are empty.
Oh, well.
There's been
Quick-
anyone in this room
A
recently?
quick glance isn't good enough for me. We've got to inventory this place.
Cats.
Oh,
Nice.
he's a baby.
He is. Kozel.
The kitty.
But yeah,
let's
if you're
see.
doing a search,
I love when the cats intrude on the stream.
yeah.
What would you like for a check?
Intelligence.
OT day.
Yep. Oh, great. Yeah. Give me a D6.
Ooh.
3. You
Oh,
find
snap.
3 vials of some like clear-ish. You can see through it, and it's got this like green tint to it.
If I like uncork one and just kind of drip a little bit out onto
Okay.
maybe the ground or the carpet or something.
Yeah. So you uncork one. It instantly smells terrible. It's got this like sharp, almost sulfury smell to it, and you pour it out a little bit and sizzles against the ground.
All right,
And
so we got 3
starts
bottles of acid then.
burning this little hole through it. And yeah, they all look to be identical bottle vials. They're pretty
Yes.
like watery, not very like viscous.
Okay.
Sorry, I can hear the meowing and it's just making my day.
Mhm.
Oh, you might be hearing mine now. Who's over
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
All right, I'll pick those up, and then do we want to lift up this carpet just in case there's fun things underneath it too?
Sure.
Sure. Yep, you lift it. You don't see
Or
anything.
we just take it with us because it's a really nice carpet.
It's not a bad carpet, but it's sturdy. It's got a hole in it, but
I mean,
not a
Probably
big
smells
one.
a little funky.
Not structural. So, but yeah, you don't see anything underneath it. Just more like threshing. It looks like the floor is trying to be like padded out in case someone were to drop something in here.
it's
And then you see kind of like this corky, spongy material underneath it, maybe to be absorbent.
okay.
But it seems to be kind of like attached to the ground. Be hard to remove.
All right, I'm keeping this carpet.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you
You
never
roll it
know
up.
what sort of stupid things we'll be able to do with it.
Yeah. I will
forgot
say
your
the carpet's big enough that you'll have to dedicate like one of your characters to be holding it with his arms.
Okay, it's gonna be number 4. Number 4
Okay.
will carry the carpet.
So yeah, you've got a guy.
I hope
in the
that I
back.
can get to the point that you regret giving us a carpet.
Let's see. There's
That's Dan's goal for the night.
that's a lot more rooms.
Right now, this is my goal for the night.
Oh, wait, that's
All
not-
right. But yeah, that's everything you find in there.
Okay.
Let's go the other way then.
Okay.
10-foot pole tap in front of us. Don't want to step on
Mhm.
nothing now.
So, in the next room, you tap through. You don't feel anything all the way up, and I'll
Oh
show
gosh.
as you go in. You see that there's like this long hallway leading down to another set of double doors. When you come in here, you see that there's lots of these like shallow basins with this green liquid in it. It looks to be like the acid. You smell a lot of that sulfury smell in here. And at the far end of the room, you see there's these 2 statues wearing cloaks that have their hands out. And they both seem to be like, they don't really have any super denoting marks on them. But you just see these kind of like 2 plain cloaked figures with their arms out. Kind of like that.
Like they could hold something. Like are they flat out in front of them?
They're not like cupped or anything. They're just kind of like lazily open.
You could like
So-
put something on them though, pretty easily.
Yes, you could.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like, if you look at their hands, it doesn't look like there's like
Like
a
marks.
groove in it or anything. Or
Okay.
marks. Yeah. But they're just seem to be holding it out like that.
Kindly priest vibes, like, yes,
Yeah.
He did this.
Okay.
Right. You're getting
It's
more of
the
that.
hands that are looming behind Jake.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to be like missing anything. Like they're at just kind of like a resting, comfortable height.
Okay.
Yep.
I
And you
will
said
admit,
there's
there's been a couple of times that I've noticed Jake out of the corner of my eye and the hands, and it startles me.
It's reaching through your screen. Yeah.
now
It's
the
like those gifs that are like small, but all the edges of them are like alpha channeled, so they like grow like someone's reaching at you.
Yeah,
Those are
it's like
great.
the old YouTube videos. You know, the one with the car going down the old country road.
And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
"Bah!"
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, only other thing you see in this room, you see like lots of these little shallow kind of like basins made out of clay that have similar liquid to what you have in those 3 vials there.
Oh,
Dan, you smell like this. The room kind of reeks of this sulfur.
are the vials are all of the basins full?
They all have. They're not like full, but they all have got
But they
like a
all
little
have
bit of
liquid.
residue at the bottom of them. It looks like they were full at one point.
oh, like there's not enough to like get anything out of it.
No, it'd be pretty difficult, especially like the vials that you have are pretty thin diameter around the like the cork of it. And then this is like a wide lipped basin, so if you were to pour it, it would probably get all over you.
I have an empty flask. Is why I
Yeah.
was thinking about it.
It would. I mean, you could dump it on it, but you would not be confident. Like it'd probably spill all over if you were to do that.
I'd probably hurt myself and die.
And there are no
Probably.
symbols in this room about at all, like no symbols or lettering or anything.
You look around. You do see on the wall behind these 2 cloaked figures. There seems to be some sort of like religious, almost looking symbol. You get that vibe from it.
I roll a check to see if I recognize it.
Yeah, can.
Alrighty. My fellas has a holy symbol, so I suppose that might be up his alley. Which is the intelligence check.
Yep.
17.
Okay. So with the 17, you look at it for a little bit. At first, you couldn't really tell what the symbol was. And you still don't recognize, it's not like a church or a cult or anything that you recognize or have heard of, but you can definitely make out what the symbol is of. And it looks to be a person on all fours, like with their head down, kneeling, almost in like a fetal position. And they've got these like spindles coming out of their back.
Seems to be like a repeating theme here so far.
Either we're looking at someone that's been blood eagled or a reverse chest burster.
Yeah.
Do the little spindly bits seem reminiscent of the altar and etc. that we've seen?
And so when you look back to the 2 altar things you've seen, you do remember seeing like there's like this base that's got like 4 legs to it, and these 4 or 8 or like just a usually power of 2 number of spindles coming out of them.
Okay. So there's some similarity to them at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks
I
to
don't know
be
about
like a
that.
3D version. The little altars seem to be like a 3D version of this symbol. But the person in the it looks more like a person, I guess, in this painting of
depiction.
them. In this depiction. Yeah. And then the other ones look to just be like this mass that has 4 legs.
Okay. This probably means something, everyone. Let's go, I guess, probably.
All right.
'cause I'm not smart enough to figure out what it means.
Yeah.
By let's go, you mean let's leave the dungeon.
Yes.
Alright, guys, get getting.
Let's go. Let them know that there was a crazy guy here and
Yep.
some weird stuff. And we're like, yeah, this is cool. We're done.
That's the name of the job.
We think it's a cult.
We're retiring from adventuring.
We
Yep.
feel fairly confident that it's a cult. You do with that whatever you will.
Here,
We're gonna
buddy, have some
start
acid.
an apothecary that sells
Yeah, it's a bunch of
solely
people on
corrosive acid.
Bunch of people on it.
It's okay. You don't have to pay us. We understand.
Yep. So there's a hallway leading south.
Here's an invoice for our time.
Goes to a set of double doors.
This looks like a very trappable hallway, so I say that we proceed carefully.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Who wants to lead the way this time?
I made that mistake once. I'm not making that mistake again.
We lost Esquire the Squire, so I think we'll hang back
That's my
a little
10
bit.
foot.
All right, one of the Shans will do the needful.
Poor
Okay.
Sean.
So
So start tapping away with your 10
10
foot pole in
foot
front of
poles
you.
waving around.
Okay.
One Shan on the ceiling, one Shan on each wall, and one Shan on the floor.
You start
It's quite
tapping away
effective.
with your 10 foot pole. And when you get to right here, darts fly out and hit the walls in front of you, but nothing happens to you.
Good job, Team
Good
Shans.
call.
There's just a set of 4 darts, and a set of 4 darts just and they clatter against the
Do
ground.
we recognize what's caused them?
It looks like
Was
you
it a
hit
button or
something on the
Yeah,
ground.
okay.
If I hit that button again, do they fire again?
You hit the button again, 4 more darts on each side.
Cool.
Anybody need a bunch of darts? I'll just like bum, 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 bum.
You hit it one more time and no more fire out. Seems like it was loaded with 8 darts on each side.
Okay.
Shame.
If we pick them up, are they like poisoned or anything? Or
They seem to be like just lawn needles. The ends of them are discolored slightly,
Mhm.
Hmm.
but you
There,
can't
don't look
really
it.
tell just by looking at it if it's poisoned.
all right, who wants to try this out?
Um, Darth's already missing some health. Go ahead and stab him.
you
real
have
quick, it's fine.
16 darts.
All right, I will throw them in somebody's inventory.
Yeah, sure.
Probably the fortune teller. Fortune
Yeah,
teller
last
needs
ditch effort.
darts.
And so you make it to the door. You open it to find
Shia
actual cannibal.
LaBeouf.
Matter of fact, we're giving it to the fortune teller because the fortune teller can't say no because they're holding the carpet. Somebody's just gonna go in their bag and just
Just shove it in their pocket. These are yours now. It's kind of like the ungodly amount of snacks that Chuck used to shove in my purse before I'd notice.
Or the ungodly amount of pictures he would take before you would notice.
Oh my god! I still have some of those.
Okay, so you see
Close.
this. Looks like a room. It's got all these like metal kind of like grates in the floor. Spread out. And they stick out a little bit compared to like the stonework. They seem to have like some. It looks like they go down a ways underneath because you don't really see what's underneath the grates. See this room. Goes off in a lot of different directions. So it looks like it goes up into the. You assume to the east because you don't see where it really. It wouldn't be able to connect here. So you assume it goes off in that direction. So basically, you can go north, south, or west.
The grates are on the floor or on the ceiling.
On the floor are the ones that stand out obviously to you. As you look at the floor and then you check the ceiling, it looks like there's grates above the ceiling as well. Or
Are
above
they
on
like
the ceiling. as well.
lined up?
Yes.
Is there any sign of like charring or like disintegration or rust or anything on these grates?
No, the grates look pristine, like very clean. kind of in the centers. It looks a little bit like rusted and stuff along the edges of them,
Okay.
but in like the center mass of these grates, it's very clean.
Do they look sturdy? Can I like poke at one of them and see if it?
They look very sturdy. Yeah, they look like they're built strong enough to stand on. The metal's pretty thick.
Okay.
That with 2 C's.
Were they thick?
Yep.
So does anyone have a preference on where we go?
Do we do our good old fashioned go left? Yeah.
Well, if we
Agreed.
don't want to get lost.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
I want to bang on these grates, so
Yeah, make sure they don't fall through.
Start banging on the grates. After a while, like after you hit the grate a few times, you feel it click down. Once it clicks down, it depresses, and as it slowly comes back up, you hear this hissing, and liquid just dumps from the ceiling and goes through the grate.
ah,
That's not great.
oh my god.
Get it?
Aha.
Oh,
Ah.
you get out of here.
All right,
don't.
let me see myself out.
Well, at least we discovered that not by standing on it.
Yeah.
Mhm. And it seems like it's still coming back up. And it takes a few seconds for it to come back up, and then it clicks.
So what's the liquid? Does it smell sulfury or is it just like?
It smells bad. It smells,
So it's
pretty
not
sharp.
a nice shower.
yeah.
All right. Well, fuck.
So if we're going this way, maybe we like, can we go to this like corner and then just kind of go across it nice and easy like?
Yeah, so you're able to walk around this without stepping on the grate at all. And then you can kind of like step across the corner diagonally and then not put your weight on this.
All right.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's imperative to say that there will be some 10-foot pole action
Okay.
up to and then before stepping over.
Sure, yeah. So you 10-foot pole all around this. Nothing seems to happen. And you're able to like get all the way over to this this area here.
Okay.
Nothing happens to you.
Such excitement.
And from here.
Come here.
I'm glad I decided to
Come here,
just
sweetie.
go nuts on
Come
the
here.
grate.
Yep. Yeah, it seems like it took a lot of like pressure, but as you pushed a lot of weight against it, it eventually clicked down.
Come here, sweetie.
Probably if 1 or 2 people stood on it, we would have had
See
a
Yes.
all of the pets tonight?
nice acid bath.
I feel as if we're gonna see.
I hope so.
Well, I heard Tyler trying to get something's attention, and then I hear Dan's cat screaming for attention. So
As she always is. It's
My
playtime.
dog
with
is sitting in
with
the
her
corner staring at me,
Mhm.
but she won't come over here.
Poor toy. This is her favorite toy, and there's hardly any toy left. To it.
Aww.
One of those ones that used
It's
to have
just a
like
stick.
those big feathers and stuff on it. But we got her another one, and she won't play with it.
What doesn't smell right, obviously.
So, she
So-
only places with this one that's been destroyed.
maybe you should cut the feathers off of the other one and like sew them onto that one.
So in this room, you see it goes down. There's like a empty room, but it looks like there used to be maybe crates or containers in here. You see like a lot of circular and square, like vacant spots in the ground where there's less dust, and then you can see there's kind of like lines. Like if you've ever seen like a barrel that was kind of sitting in dirt and it gets moved, it kind of leaves this like ring where it pushed against the edge of the dust.
Yeah.
So
it's
you see like a
like
lot of depressions that look like there used to be maybe barrels or crates in here, but they're no longer in here. Then there's a narrow hallway, and you see this pretty nice bedroom at the end of it.
Interesting.
So fancy. We'll definitely do our usual due diligence.
Okay.
The-
Yep.
the-
You tap along with your pole. Nothing seems to happen.
the
You
Sean
do.
touch all the
You
things.
feel like this weird resistance in the air as you push down this way.
resistance.
Yeah, it feels like it's like extra hard to move it through the air. Like it
If I
feels like
stick it, if I stick
like
it in there
jelly?
and let it go, does it?
it doesn't stay. No, but it feels like if you were to like swing your like it feels like the resistance you get in air if like you were moving it really fast. It just feels like the air is like thicker or something right there. But it doesn't stay if you let go of it. But you do hear it kind of like whistle as you let go of it,
Whistle.
as if it's like moving quickly through air or through like dense air.
Huh.
That's strange.
Something's funny.
I was gonna say, does it look like anyone's been in here recently? Like, has anything been disturbed or?
You look in, and it looks to be in much better condition than the rest of the area you're in. You can't really tell how recently, but it looks like the bed's still recently made. You don't see like this room covered in dust or anything like the rest of this place has been so far. Just looks to be pretty clean in that area.
Let's see. Which Sean do we feel like sacrificing first? Probably Sean with a W.
Sean with a W seems to be the bravest.
I
That's
mean,
what I
he's-
was.
All right,
He's Sean number
Willing-
one.
That's what I
So
was most
yeah.
willing to sacrifice.
Sean with the W walks through. When he gets about halfway through this little hallway, you see his hair like fly by as if he was like hit by a gust of wind. And he like pauses for a little bit, and but nothing seems to happen to him. And then he walks in, and it's like, smells better in here.
okay. Sean with the W will also has a 10-foot pole.
Mhm.
Proceed to do his checking around and
Taps around. There seems to be this nice bedroom. Seems like there's this gust. There's like something weird in this hallway. Almost like a lingering magical effect or something that's like keeping the air separate from this room and the rest of the dungeon. Because there's like this strong sulfury smell where you guys are at, lingering from the acid and stuff, and it seems like you cross this air barrier and
they
it's gone.
cast a spell of dice and bladeless fan.
Something like that. Because yeah, it's like there's like comfortable air in here. Smells like not quite sweet, but it's not stale like the rest of the room.
Sure.
There's like a comfortable bed in here, comfortable chair, a little study.
Well, it's time to
Seems to be-
ransack this place.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
This guy's got any booze, I'm taking it and sitting in his
All
chair.
right.
we're rolling up this carpet. We're checking
There-
the desk. we're
There
checking
does
the
seem to
nightstand.
be a expensive looking like cut glass bottle sitting on there's like a little nightstand by this chair. You
Sit
can't
in
tell
that
exactly
chair and
what's
I'll
in it.
pour myself some stuff and yeah. Or no, I'll just drink straight from the bottle. Screw it.
Why
Screw
not?
this
Okay.
guy.
Yep,
Tastes to
we'll
be like some kind of scotch, but you don't really recognize what brand it is or anything. It's not something you've had before.
Good stuff, I say,
Homebrew.
as I make that up.
It tastes, like I don't know. Tastes like scotch. I don't really know what scotch tastes like too much.
I
But
basically
it's
never
good.
goes
It's
bad.
good scotch. If your character knew what types of scotch tasted like, this would be good.
None of my
Tastes
characters would.
expensive.
Tastes like licking moss.
Yeah. Yeah, just seems to be this nice, comfortable room.
All right, yeah, we'll search the desk, search whatever this is.
Okay.
We'll toss that bed.
You toss the bed. Seems to be like pretty expensive silk sheets and things.
Can I steal
But,
his bedding?
Yeah, for sure. You can stuff it in one of your sacks. And there's like a really nice, pretty expensive looking blanket.
You have a closet.
The pillowcases.
Yeah.
There's not a closet, but there is like a tall dresser over here.
You have
We're
any
definitely
clothes?
like stealing everything that we can.
It's
You
all
look
Living
through
in
the
luxury
clothes.
anymore.
There are a few pairs of like nice puffy like gentlemanly like
I want 'em.
coats and
Oh, I want the Shans to have a coat each.
I want Han.
okay.
I want Han to have
There
a
are
coat.
3.
Oh God, no.
Oh God, 2 of the
Well, there are
Shans are gonna have
3
to fight
Shans, right?
for him.
Oh, there's 4 Shans.
Oh, I thought one of them fell in the hole.
No,
No,
that was S.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
no Shans get to wear any coats
There's,
until
like,
one of the Shans is
3
dead.
puffy coats. And then the rest just look to be like these nicer shirts and things. It's all just a bunch of pretty like not those coats are like the only thing that looks like over the top extravagant. The rest looks kind of just comfortable, almost dressy clothing. But seems to be the room of a pretty rich person. The only other thing you find, like you just find clothes, you find his bedding, an expensive bottle of scotch, and there's like a journal laying on the table.
Ooh, what's in the journal?
So you rifle through it. In it, you see there's like a bunch of just date and time entries, and they date back, going about 6 months back. And it says it's kind of like a summary of the events that happened leading up. So you see there's a summary saying like scouting team found stronghold. Like there's notes about them finding the stronghold and saying that there's monsters in it. Then there's notes about a hunting team going through and clearing the monsters. There's notes about a month later there being this establishing settlement, and that a few shipments of supplies and building materials go back and forth a few times. Says that they, after about 2 or 3 weeks, says that they started hearing like rumbling from the earth. They were disappointed to find that the entrance to the inside of the mine, or inside of, not the mine, the inside of the stronghold to the mountain was collapsed. But they've felt like they heard like rumbling on the other side of it after being there for a few weeks.
Odd.
Uh,
And that's the last.
so it's
No.
it's written by one of the elf people.
Yeah, it seems to be written by one of the people that was in the establishing settlement part, because it's all of the stuff about the settlement establishing is written as if he were there, and then the other parts seem to be as if he were taking notes on what he was told about the 2
Okay.
parties that came there before him. The last thing is that he says is that he hears rumbling and stuff coming from the other side of the rubble, and almost seemingly like underground and things.
Just to be sure, is this carpet better or worse than the other carpet?
Much better.
All right, time to switch carpets. Maybe I'll have them carry, maybe I'll have them carry 2 carpets.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is like a very, very nice
Damn.
carpet. It's got
This
like
guy's room's destroyed.
it looks to be of like some animal hide that was much larger than this carpet and then like cut to square or cut to a rectangle. Because you can see it's like kind of leathery on the other side of it.
All right, it's possible they're going to
Very
double
expensive.
down and shoulder each carpet. Otherwise, they'll just take the nicer one.
I'm calling
Yep.
Fantasy PETA, in which they actually care about animals.
Oh my gosh! Don't call them on my new
Yeah.
rug.
All right. But yeah.
But in
That's
the
what you find.
journal, what was like the latest date of entry?
It would have been a week and a half before the scouting party went out to see them. So pretty close to around the time that they missed their shipment. So it's the last time there's an entry. Seems to be written by the people that the scouting party went to find before you went to find them.
Everybody's getting lost.
All right.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time before we do. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
I suppose we'll make our way back out here and
Out one of the other doorways.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't stand on that grate there.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was a little too eager.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of walk around these rooms, not stepping on the grates. If you tap the poles, nothing happens. It just seems to be like if you step on the grates, then after a little bit they click into the ground and will douse you in
Vinegary
probably not the best
nastiness.
of substance. So yeah,
Just
but
for
you're able to
sanity, was
navigate
this
through
room
there.
down here empty? I'm gonna come
Yep.
like check this room out.
You look at it, seems to be empty. You
And
see
then
that there
this.
were more like impressions of barrels or crates or something in this room that seem to have been stored in like this corner, but they're not there now.
All right, and then this hallway. Is there anything up here?
Up here?
Where I'm standing, right north of where I'm standing.
Oh, north. Yeah, here. Feel this. You see that this goes.
Okay.
And then
And then we gotta decide which one of these two directions we want to go then. Do we just want to flip a coin?
Uh,
If you're
Left.
feeling ballsy. Yeah.
What
Whatever
is left?
is, which way are you facing? Are you facing west?
I mean, I'm tempted to just keep working the room around
Like working clockwise.
clockwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Or kinda-
works.
Either way,
Counterclockwise. Eh?
Whatever a clock is.
just
So
pick one and stick to
I'll
it.
tippity tap to get to this door, and then do whichever door direction it needs done.
okay. It opens towards you.
Then grappling hook on a pull it is.
Okay. You pull it open. See a big room.
Oh my gosh.
And as soon as you open it, on the far side of the room, you see
Here, got my eyelash.
a person. Seems to be like a hooded figure in a cloak that just runs all the way down their back. And they seem to be like staring into the corner of the room.
Are they alive? Do they look like they're breathing?
They're standing.
Oh, that doesn't always prove anything.
Kind of like turn back and like, gesture to everybody to quiet down. And I may just very gently be
Tapping
know.
your way into the room.
tapping my way into the room. More just
Okay.
like, gently pushing.
Yeah, you
So
like
just-
set it down instead of like thwacking it, and you push each
Yeah.
tile as you're walking through.
That way
Nothing
maybe
seems to happen with the floor.
All right. Because I'm kind of going to work around this side, I think. If somebody else
Okay.
wants to like try and take the other side, we can kind of
I'll,
flank them or something.
I'll start making my way towards the cloaked fella.
Okay.
Grant, the guy with the blackjack.
Okay. You make your way up to him. As you start walking up, he seems to react to you moving close to him. It sounds like he hears your footsteps. And you see him turn towards you. And you see what, like, he's mostly hooded, but the sleeves of the hood kind of come up a lot. And you see there's like these spirals of stitches that go along his arm. And he just seems to be like picking at some of them.
Hmm. I will take a step back.
And
You right there, guy.
Has he seemed to have noticed us?
And so he continues to pick at it, and he looks at you, y'all, and you see him like fumbling around the side. It looks like he's looking for something, and he pulls out a dagger.
What? A dagger. Okay.
And you see,
Oh, I thought you
like,
said a bag of ears. I was so confused.
no, a dagger. Sorry.
Apparently, someone's been playing Diablo online recently.
No, he pulls out a dagger. And you see it's got this like long almost looks like it's stone or something. It's like a long, like kind of chipped, jagged black blade.
Ew.
Uh,
It looks like especially sacrificey.
Yeah, looks real
Calm
culty.
down, guy.
A little
Calm down.
ceremonial.
Culty was the next word I
Mhm.
was going to use to describe it.
Yeah,
Oh hell.
he draws the dagger. He opens his mouth. It looks like he's like trying to talk or something, but you just hear this like, and like his voice is just squeaking.
Do you need water? Yes or no?
And he like points the knife at you at like arm's reach, and he starts backing, trying to make it to the door.
I think Volo's just gonna run at the guy and attack him with a spear.
Okay. You do so.
Hooray.
Roll to attack.
He'll do. Go. 17.
That's plenty. Yep. You hit him. Roll for damage.
Yeah, ready? Oof. That
He's still up. Your spear goes through him though.
hurt.
And he like grabs it and is trying to pull it out of him. You get way less resistance as you stab it through him than you were expecting. It just pokes out the other end.
Can I have Basket take a shot at him?
Yep.
Maybe try
Roll.
and... Probably should have been typing, but it's fine.
That hits. Eight damage. Okay, yeah. You take him out. So this spear goes into him, and you're like trying to almost pull it back out to use it again. He grabs onto it, and he's holding the spear in. When you send this bolt going through, and the bolt goes clear through him and out and hits the wall behind him and clatters to the ground, and he just collapses. And you see him slump over, and his body goes especially limp. Almost like there's like no bones. Like his arm curves without a joint in the middle of it. And his legs just flop like noodles. And he lays there on the ground. And you
Is there
see...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and then... So you see that there were like stitches spiraling around his arms and his legs. And they all seem to be like bulging. Like there's like under a lot of tension now.
Oh no.
Is there any blood on the
Get
ground
back.
or anything?
Get back.
There is
Any
blood,
torches?
Okay.
Get back away from him.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
think
stay
getting
on the
back
other
away
side
from
of the
him is a
room.
good idea.
I think he's about to explode.
So you get back. He just continues to lay there. You don't see him move or anything.
Is he full of confetti?
You
hope
don't
so.
see any confetti come out.
Shit.
I might have Sweeney poke at him with his hunting spear a little bit.
They'll try and
Okay.
fish that dagger away from him.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, you're able to like kick the dagger away from him. What is he doing with the spear?
It just kind of like prod at him a little bit, see if there's any
Okay.
sign of life in there.
You poke him, and he seems to be like lighter than you're expecting too. And he just kind of slides along the ground.
Ew.
And as you do,
programmed?
he's just completely like ragdolled.
Was
Oh,
he
doesn't have
programmed
any
with Gary's
bones.
mod physics?
There's no like visible strings leading up to the ceiling or anything.
No, you just see these stitches, and they all seem to be kind of like bulging.
Ugh, creepy. All right. Should
can
we
you,
check
like-
out this door that he was trying to go through?
Sure.
I think we'll,
Yep,
we'll
set of
kinda
double
just
doors.
try and cram him into this corner here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good call.
You slide him along the ground. He slumps there.
I assume he.
Yeah, he T-poses. And
Oh god. Oh no. He's asserting dominance.
Oh god. We reset the NPC and now he just hasn't loaded in yet.
Yep.
Texture is the purple and blue squares.
You start as you're sliding him along the ground. You hear real faintly. Everyone, give me a perception. What would be the closest to that?
Intelligence or personality? I don't remember which one we've used before.
Yeah.
Luck? I don't know.
Or yeah, just give me a luck check. Actually, just everyone roll luck.
Oh no,
You feeling lucky, Punk?
no. I almost still failed.
Oh.
I have one character with exceedingly high luck, which is why I actually picked this set of sheets. I was like, I know I need the maximum amount of luck possible.
All right.
Despite the fact that two of them
Ooh, I
had
got a
1
0.
HP.
Wow.
Oh
Oh,
my
no.
god.
I
Good
can't
on the luck check, thankfully.
If you have a negative, do you have a negative or a positive?
I have a
modifier?
positive modifier.
Okay,
Don't you
good, yep.
invert
you
it?
subtract it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh.
thought. For luck, it's the only check you want to be low.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh wait, so you would invert it then?
If you have a positive luck modifier, you subtract it from this roll. If you have
Yeah,
a negative
rolled
this
that
one's
way
weird because
then.
you're like trying to roll under, but
Yeah.
that's fine. It's not too particular on this. I just want to see who rolled highest
Okay.
number wise.
Oh no,
So
that's still
Dan.
me.
you hear a faint yell, just like this constant kind of droning yelling from back the way you came.
I wonder if it's the guy that we tied up.
Not sure.
Do we want to check this out real fast?
I think you're the only one hearing it. Are you sure you're okay?
Is it just me?
You pointed out everyone else starts hearing it too.
Oh, okay.
You were just the
Well,
first one that heard it.
I mean, I suppose because it might be a bad idea, but
Maybe I'll try and just do a real quick check.
Okay. So you guys go back to see him.
So, not necessarily everybody needs to come.
All right. Who's going
Go
and who's
just in
staying?
case.
The
I'll go in case
Shans,
there's trouble.
the Shans, will
Sean's
go.
are going. Okay. Sean's are going back. The Jakes are going back.
Is it getting louder?
Yeah, it's getting louder as you're backtracking towards the start. And you
Okay.
just hear these bursts, and you can make it out. It sounds like a man screaming.
Okay. I'll kind of cautiously come in here at this point in case, there's something crazier about him than we realized.
Okay. As you get closer to the room, you do hear like banging too of like him like sounds probably like he's struggling with his binds or something. You just hear just like tick, 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 tick of his like chair across the stone.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of come up here and then kind of come out to the side and be like, hey, guy. See if he answers
And-
or not.
Okay, so yeah, you come here. So as soon as you open the door, he's like laying here. He's like on his side, scooting along the ground, still bound to the chair, just like sprawled out and yelling. His back's to you guys, but he hears the door open. He's like, "Hello, someone there! Help!" And he's just yelling, "I gotta get out of here!
Calm down, guy. Calm down.
Who are you?"
We were sent here to try and look for people.
people.
That'd be me.
Just
Help.
Just you.
Why am I tied up?
Because you were like when we found you, you were collecting and then returning and then collecting, and so we knocked you out.
Collecting what?
Whatever that plant was, the dripweed, tons and tons and
Whiteweed?
tons of dripweed.
What is dripweed?
I don't know.
Why am I tied
up?
up? He's just like very angry.
For your own safety, guy. Look at your
He's
hands.
rushing
They all scratched up, right?
in. Looks down. He has like scratches, but none of the wounds are open anymore.
Okay, well. You've been hurting yourself, guy.
He's like, "Oh, you guys probably did that to me when I was out. Why'd you tie me up?"
Bullshit. We'll just leave you here then.
No, I'm sorry. And he like stops struggling. And he's trying to like, he like keeps throwing his head back, trying to rotate the chair on the ground.
If we like
to
let
face
you
you.
out, you're not gonna go nuts on us or anything.
It's like, no, I just want to leave. Were you guys hired by the initiative?
Is that who we were hired by?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you were hired by the Seraphel Initiative, and
Okay,
most
yeah.
people within the organization they just call it the Initiative.
Okay. We can name drop some
So,
people to
Yeah,
try and
yeah.
give us some credibility.
He's like, okay, yeah. He's like, the people that were out here trying to rebuild. They didn't, come to collect any of their supplies for a few weeks. I was sent out here to see what happened. I woke up in a chair. I want to leave.
Yeah, you were going and collecting. I'll show him like our 4 sacks of stuff he'd been collecting. Like you did this.
He just like looks at it. He's like, I don't know what that is. I've never seen that plant before in my life.
Well, you never saw yourself get put in a chair either, did you?
No, I didn't. Can you let me out, please? He's
Grant will
just, like,
speak
laying
up. I
there.
made sure he didn't see a thing about that.
So I'll go ahead and get him out of the chair.
Okay, you let him out, and he's like rubbing his wrists and things. He's like, "What did you guys do to me?" And like, you just sees he's got like cuts and bruises, and he's covered in dirt. And
We didn't do any of that. We just got here. We followed
like
you
rubbing his
up
hands.
to the little
starts
temple
rubbing his
thing.
head.
We did do that.
Jordan,
Temple?
Does he seem like he has
Yeah, we
bones?
definitely bonked you in the back of that. That was us.
Ah. Okay.
Like
Why?
the original entrance area that's all collapsed up there. There's like a little altar, like this one.
Yeah,
one
on the first trip back, when they got supplies, they said something about how they couldn't get inside the stronghold. It usually goes really back inside the mountain, but they said like the entrance had been collapsed or something, and that there were like monsters inside the walls that were outside, just like forest beasts and things. But we were gonna start trying to clear that, but they wanted to build like a little bit of a settlement outside to get more people here to start working at clearing it.
About that.
Oh, so far, you're the only thing we've encountered here.
Just me? You didn't? There was like 8 people with me.
Just you.
More, man.
It's like, I mean, I came out here. We camped for one night. We didn't see anybody. We were gonna go, like, do a sweep of the area. I don't know. It's fuzzy. I woke up in a chair, and my head hurts really bad.
Yeah, sorry, that's
And-
on us. The headache is on us.
It's like, well, can you really haven't found anyone? Like, I mean, he just seems so like lost and confused. He's like, there's so many people with me, like, and we didn't see anyone when we came out here. What? Doesn't make sense.
How far into this place did you go? Like, did you find all
I don't know where I am right now. What is this place?
What? We followed you
don't-
here.
What?
You're inside like the 3rd wall? At the outside-most wall? Under it?
Are we?
Like
So,
outside
the
under the
original stronghold did not have anything underground outside the walls, but they said something about there being like these caves and halls that they found that weren't there originally, and they'd moved some stuff into them.
This is definitely like outside and underground.
Okay. Well, we heard about that in one of the notes that they said, but we didn't know how to get in, and we didn't see what they were talking about when we came out here.
Oh, how we got in is like you walked up to this thing and you put your head on it and you looked like you're having a seizure, and then this door opened and then you came here.
I don't remember any of that.
I know you don't. It's okay.
Tell you what, buddy, why don't you just head out that door there, keep going to the end of the hall, take a right, take a right at the double doors, and you'll be outside and good to go.
Okay.
And
If
you
you
can
see
tell-
something terrifying, scream and run not back
Run
here
home.
so it doesn't
Just
come
run
after us.
home.
I don't have any of my stuff. I don't have like enough food or any. Like, is the camp
How-
still there?
I mean, it's empty.
Kind of.
I'll part with some rations to get him on his way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how much rations he needs. But
You'd have enough to get one guy back. It's like a day or two through the
oh yeah,
Felmarsh.
I'm well
So-
for provision. I think I've got
Yeah.
like 6 days worth of
Yeah.
rations on each person.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you'd have plenty to get one guy through. It's like, okay.
We're hungry
Uh,
Sean's.
All right. I'll.
Sean's
Do you know what attacked me or what attacked them? What's happening?
I mean, like I said,
Gonna find out.
so far it's just you.
Hmm.
There's some blood stains up ahead, but no bodies.
I don't like that.
I don't
What's
either.
this thing? And he's like staring at the golden like thing in the middle of the room.
I don't know. Last time you were near one of these, you put your head on it, and then it went like wow, 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 wow. And it only seems to be interested in your head.
He stares at it for a little bit. He's like, it looks familiar, but I don't know what it is.
As he stares at it, I want to move up behind him, and I just want to look at his back. His back looks smooth.
Yeah, looks smooth.
Okay, making sure.
Would you mind like touching it for us just to make sure that it doesn't do like the wow, wow, wow anymore? Now that you're like person again,
It's like just touch it.
just touch it. That's all. I'll touch it first.
So you go up and you touch it. It's like, okay. He like looks at you guys and he touches it. He puts his hand on it for a little bit. Like, what did that? And he falls over.
Is he dead?
And then after a few seconds, you hear him start mumbling again. He starts moving. He has a similar seizure as to what he had when he was previously at the other altar.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes are like partially bloodshot and not focusing on things again.
Well, we
Do him a
figured
favor.
something out.
Tie him back up, I guess.
Yeah, I
All
guess
right.
I'll blackjack him in the back of the head again.
Dan, which
Uh-huh.
character touched it?
Sean with a W.
Give me a luck check on Sean with the W.
Oh no, Sean with the W doesn't have good luck.
Maybe Sean with the W should have thought about that.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh.
Sean with the W, no.
In Sean with the W's confusion as he sees this man writhing in pain and confusion on the ground, he shortly joins him after as he collapses to the ground. Starts
All right,
writhing
him
for a
up.
little bit.
He was
I'm
on
just
and
gonna
he
start
opens his
to go.
eyes. If you were to be piloting Sean with the W, he would be seeing strange visions of pitch blackness, and he would hear cacophonies of thousands of voices, all calling out, searching for something, looking above.
That's uncomfy.
Huh? Like they're saying that, searching for something.
Yeah. It
They're
says
saying
like
looking above.
they're looking above for something from blackness.
Says big
Okay.
get out vibes.
I mean, if I were piling Sean with a W, would I start going and looking for weeds?
Then he lays there for a little bit. He like stands up and he seems in a daze, but doesn't go off and do anything. He just kind of stands there and
Okay.
seems to be muddled about. Other guy starts mumbling again, and you hear him say collect. And he goes off.
Alright.
Sean
of
with the
the-
W does not say anything.
Let's see. Sean, I gotta remember which Sean it was. Sean with the U is gonna go and slap Sean with the W.
Okay. Sean with a U, roll a luck check.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, it's even worse.
You slap him, and he just like, gets knocked to the side. And you see his eyes just kind of like lazily slide to the side with it, and they don't really refocus on anything as he recovers from the slap.
Okay. Maybe we'll pour some water on him.
Okay. Roll another luck check when you do that.
Okay. This time, it's gonna be Sean. The no H W or U. The just
Mhm.
SEAN. Sean. Yeah.
The
All right.
Irish
On a
Sean.
Regular. Minimum Sean.
Mhm.
Minimalist Sean.
Minimum Sean.
And he
All right.
finally passes.
Passes. Okay. So he tosses some water on him. And as you do that, Sean with the W starts choking and gagging as some of it goes in his mouth. And you see his eyes like realign. And he spits it up. He's like, "What the fuck was that for?" And he
You
seems
touched
back
the
at it.
thing and you got all jacked up.
Like, that thing?
Yeah, don't do it again.
And yeah, like his hand gets swatted away. And you have control of him back again.
Okay. We never even asked that guy his name. He's even crazier now than he was before.
Yeah, and then so he's like still like kind of limping back, trying to get out the door. And
Go ahead
Wait,
and give him the bonk again, if you will.
I thought Jacob.
Yeah,
was
I'll give him a slap.
oh, you were getting him the bunk in that. Yeah, you knock him out. You
Well,
Should we
Yeah.
take
Maybe
him
I
with
don't.
us?
him with a bad roll. Like it. I'm not gonna make you roll. Like he's already been bonked. Like he wasn't back to how good he was before. He's just like slowly limping, not looking at you. You can just in the back of the head.
One damage.
He's out again. Yeah.
Should
This
we?
time
Should
we'll
we
just
leave him here with like his snacks so that he can go back, or should we take him with us?
I don't know.
Should we wait for him to wake up?
We're gonna roll him up in one of the carpets. And we're gonna haul him around.
That's kinder than I'd have done. I'd have put him in a spike pit.
Yep. All right.
Okay,
Well, we do have that spare carpet that you already pulled up.
We're gonna.
I don't know
roll
if you'll
him
be
up
able
the
to, like,
carpet
haul
and
him.
lower him into the spike pit. And he'll be safe here.
You could.
That,
But
Should we should we just lay him on the bed? Like he'll be safe there.
oh,
right?
that's yeah. We could put him in the.
Oh, yeah.
now-
And we could
down
leave him a
bed.
note in the journal. We could jot something down, be like, "Hey, bud,
Mhm.
leave."
And then he walks right through an acid trap.
yeah, he didn't seem to be familiar with this area.
We'll
He-
draw a
he
very
mentioned
crude map
that-
for him.
He had heard that they found like a underground cavern, like building system or something like that wasn't there before. But he had not seen it, and they didn't find it on
How
their
about this?
original arrival.
We take him to the bed. We put a piece of paper down, like on the floor where you can't miss it, with a little note from us that says, "This is the way out," with a little drawing, acid trap, spike trap, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'll say you can do that.
Or wait here, and we'll get you on the way back if we're not dead.
Yeah.
If we
Okay.
don't come back in like a day, we're probably dead. Sorry. And we'll leave.
So when she wakes up and is like, "How long has it been?" So, but yeah, you could do that.
A day of you being awake. We'll write that condition in there.
yeah.
And
So
we'll leave
yeah,
something.
you leave him a note. We can hand wave it just for time's sake, and
Yeah,
so you do that. But okay.
All right.
All right. Has Ragdoll guy moved at all since I've been staring at him with my stick?
Ragdoll guy has not moved much. He has a little. So as he's been laying there, it seems like his stitches are continuing to be like stressed, almost like his skin is expanding.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't we burn him? I think we should burn him.
That
I mean,
would
it's not too
probably be
late.
a good idea. Yeah, or we could just use the acid to dissolve you.
I've got oil flasks. You know, we can just.
I mean,
Mhm.
I think I have a lantern and some torches, and
I do indeed have a lantern. All right, do we want to arson this guy?
I think so. I'll just dump an oil flask on him,
Mhm.
and then we'll light him up.
Okay. You do that. Y'all, make it back. You leave the note for all that. You douse him with oil. As soon as you light him, you hear this screech, and you hear all of the stitches pop, just,
Eh,
and you see like tendrils of these tentacles pop out,
Oh god!
and but
hell
they
no.
writhe up and contort and twist in, and you're cracking and snapping, and it sounds like screeching of multiple voices as it shrivels up and dies.
Oh god! That was a well spent oil flask, everyone.
absolutely.
I hate that so much.
Why?
All right. The next
we able
time we
to
just
recognize-
throw them in the acid grates.
Yeah,
Next-
there
Oh,
you
that's
go.
a
yeah,
good
that
point.
would've-
Yeah,
That might have been a little more cost effective, but it would have
Ah,
required
well.
getting him there.
yeah. I wouldn't have wanted to. Were we able to recognize what that thing was at all?
What do you mean? Like as it was
I'm-
burning?
How many
Yeah.
sanity points did we lose?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if this were
Do I need to
darkest
take some
dungeon.
sanity pills?
Yeah,
Do I need to
your
go back
resolve
out
would
to
be
the van?
tested. It's definitely a horrifying sight. You don't it's not anything you've seen before. It's not anything you've
Ew.
heard of before.
Did it look
Um,
vaguely like that drawing that's on the wall in the altar?
I mean, you can see connections that there was like some spindly tentacle things on the back of this person in the drawing that you saw on the wall. But you don't know.
Yikes,
Definitely see
okay.
some connection between that.
Well,
that
now
in
that
mind-
that's taken care of.
Door number left. Push or pull.
Yep.
Yeah, the double doors are
It is
cracked
a pull door.
Hook it open.
All right.
Wait, what about the double door that he was gonna try and go through? Should we check that out first?
So you see this strange shaped room.
I figured that
Looks like there was
that's-
more storage in this room. Looks like there was like crates and things in here too, but they are not there now.
And then this door down here. I figure we'll just check each of these adjacently real quick.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just checking like all. So you see, this one goes into like a long hallway, and this one goes out, and you hear like the water of the river that you guys crossed through on the outside of that. So it looks like this like opens up into the river. It's not very like it's a pretty short path, so you like poke through and there's like an overhang of dirt and like moss and leaves and things, so you wouldn't have seen it on your way in, but it looks to be like some kind of secret passage that comes in.
Okay, I might just take like a real quick peek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look around. You just see like the outside again, so oh, I didn't mean.
Wow. Okay.
Oh well, that's handy, I guess.
Yeah.
So we know another way out.
There you go.
Yep. You recognize that as the river that you crossed. Takes you a little bit because you didn't see it from that angle, really. But you're like, oh, we were just out here.
Okay, well,
Neat.
I think that's valuable.
Yeah.
So then, do we go left or do we go right? Nobody says anything.
Hey, Sadie.
Left it is.
I thought left.
Yeah,
was
left
the
is,
rule of
left
the
is
day.
the way. Left is the way.
Alright.
Let's just assume left every time.
Yeah.
We'll tap it
Come
out.
here.
You tap it
Yeah.
out, nothing happens.
Come here.
You come into a like perfectly circular room. And when you come in here, it looks like there were some almost like washboard paddle things in here. You see like leaves and debris from what you guess were those plants.
Come here.
And it looks like they were like prepping them for something in this room.
Come here.
You just see like this pool of, it looks like water.
I know what I missed her.
Okay,
Is
so
the
this is
stern
filled
type
with
vibes?
water in here.
Yeah.
Puppy, come here.
Like deep water,
Come here.
shallow water.
You can't really see. It's kind of dark, and like with your light, I'm assuming you have like a torch or a lantern or something. You don't like see it poking through, really.
All right, Sean with
So-
the W, you're the resident idiot. Let's go up there and sorry, you're the resident hero.
Mhm.
We'll have him
And-
take his 10-foot pole and just kind of tap around at least in this initial
Taps
area.
around. So he taps, and it only goes down probably about 5 feet, and then he like hits the bottom of this pool.
Okay. I mean, if we don't see anything particularly interesting,
No.
jump out at us, or just shut this door and go back.
Yeah, you poke around there. It just seems to be this like pool of water. You don't see anything in it.
All right.
Smell
I don't
funky
feel
or
brave
anything?
enough to actually wade into it, guys.
No.
Yeah, that seems like death.
We'll probably just shut this door again and then
Okay.
come on back and start the tapping game. Going this
All
way.
right. So, you start the tapping game back up. Come down this hallway,
Like in real life, I'm gonna start carrying around a 10-foot pole.
right? They're incredibly useful. So versatile. This is what you'd see. Just speed up your searching game.
We got bits for the puppo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Good job.
So you see it kind of comes to this hallway. You hear more like, as soon as you open this door, you hear more like of the river again.
Like this area is maybe like slowly collapsed outwards or something.
You gonna,
Well,
you
it
gonna-
looks like with these two hallways up at the front, they just go out to the river as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep. And so you move up. And you see more. So these are like much more shallow. It's like standing height, probably right about here. If I tap, like right about here. But it kind of like narrows down to almost a crawl. And then it looks like there's just like it's partially collapsed. You see, there's like moss and parts of the forest that are kind of like growing into this entrance a little bit. So. And then you see like there's a few wooden braces that look like they've broken, so it's like partially just collapsed right here. Same thing here. Looks like those might have been bigger entrances before, but seem to have fallen.
So,
You can definitely hear the water through it.
I think this
so
is
we've
the
got
left at the
3
moment.
more hallways.
Yep.
So I might just start tapping my way up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue on our path left.
You tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Right when you get to here and you tap, darts shoot from this wall towards you.
Oh no, Sean with the W.
Give me a reflex.
You're gonna die.
Make the save. Make the save.
12 for your reflex
It sure
is the exact DC that you need.
Ooh.
As you dive, one of them just whizzes right past your ear and clatters into the wall behind you. And you see there's a like pressure plate in the middle of this hallway.
Oh my gosh. All right. Close one,
So
guys.
you're able to point that out.
Can you
Sean
hold
with
the
the
carpet in
W
front of you
and
and
his
keep tapping
1
the floor?
HP are still brave.
Yeah, would
He's
have
got
killed him.
1 hit.
He's got 1 hit point.
Oh my god.
That is
We
hilarious.
believe.
Yeah.
I did buy him, decent armor. He's
Hmm.
got studded leather armor.
For having the worst rolling luck, he's pretty fucking lucky.
Hey, he's doing all right so far.
So as you come down this pathway here, actually, let me move the stream real quick.
I forgot to record how much AC I get out of studded leather though.
Studded is +3.
You see,
Oh.
this.
Oh,
Big
how fresh is that?
And what is it? Blood?
Looks very, very fresh, and
Very
yes,
bloody?
A lot
blood
of strawberry
some
jam
kind.
they've wasted in here.
Yeah.
That's at least one person.
Damn.
And then this area, so each of these rooms have you see there's like, as you're like walking through, you see in the blood on the floor, there's like little places where there's like circles and stuff where it looks like the blood went across something and then dried and then it was moved. So like you see all these like things that must have been on the ground before and they've moved it since. You see there's shackles along the walls in each of these rooms.
Oh.
Actually, let me draw those. So there's spots for shackles here, 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 and here.
Wow.
What shackles?
Wheel, this is kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Do we want to go on through here, or do we want to go back and check one of these other less bloody corridors?
Well, wait, he
Are
said
there,
there were like
like-
7 people with him, right? There's at least 7 spots where somebody was tied up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You said it all is pretty fresh too.
It looks so it's like slightly viscous, like if you step in it, where it's not completely dried yet. The edges of it have dried slightly, and you can see that they dried against like things that were there.
Objects that were like on the floor or something.
Yeah, objects that were on the
Barrel
floor.
or something.
Do they look human-esque or person body-esque?
They're pretty like clean shapes, so like maybe like a bowl or a barrel or something
Oh,
like
like they
that.
collected the blood for something,
Oh. Oh.
like a ritual.
There's a few that are like rectangular, maybe a tray or something.
Froth.
Fresh blood, my favorite.
Just big old Kool-Aid man replicas.
Giant glass pitchers.
It's the Kool-Aid factory.
Not actually Kool-Aid.
God damn it.
Oh no.
It was never Kool-Aid.
It's never Kool-Aid. No wonder he's coming and busting through those walls.
Ugh.
Yeah, fresh meat.
Ah!
This is where he tried to break through the walls and then his glass body just shattered.
The remnants of failed Kool-Aid men.
This is the Flavor Aid, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains so much.
Yeah. Turns out the Kool-Aid man's coming after your blood.
The Kool-Aid man was a vampire all along.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we check out this other hallway? Or do we move on?
Yeah, there's definitely like other hallways that past this blood leads to, and then there's a few more places that it breaks out below.
Oh, I'm so concerned about going through this hallway.
That's what the 10-foot poles are for.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? Volo's got a shield, and Mitch has a 10-foot pole. So I'm going to put that 10-foot pole, or I'm going to put the shield on the end of my 10-foot pole. I'm going to hold it out in front of the Chans.
Okay.
Now we're getting fancy.
Sure.
Here.
You do it.
All right, we're gonna start the Sean phalanx
Yes. Defensive formation.
and slowly start making our way across here.
So yeah, you tapping. As you're tapping, you're like kind of splashing this blood around a little bit, but you don't trigger any traps or anything.
All right.
There's not really a way to move through the blood too without getting it on your feet. So you're gonna track it a little bit.
Sticky.
Yeah, maybe I'll put down the less nice carpet on this other side, and then we can wipe our feet off on it.
Hey, there's an
There we
idea.
go. I found a use
Yeah.
for the carpet.
There you go.
You did it. Yeah, you're able to lay down the carpet and go across. No blood.
We did
Yeah.
it.
Easy.
Ugh.
There we go.
Definitely,
I haven't
uh,
made you regret giving me a carpet yet,
No,
but
that's a good use for it.
I
So yeah,
still got one more carpet yet to get some
But
regret.
that's a
like
nice
tuft of hair that
carpet.
flew in my eye.
That's the real risk of cats.
That was unfortunate. Oh my god. Uh,
I'm trying to take you out.
yeah, but yeah. So you lay down your carpet. Do you pick it back up, or do you leave? Because it's pretty
I'm
well
gonna leave-
soaked.
I'm gonna leave this one.
Okay.
leave.
Ooh,
It's the
gonna
not
be
nice one.
damp.
Yeah, yeah.
I put them
And
in my
it
inventory.
works better. The not nice one seems a lot more absorbent
Yeah.
than probably what the other one was.
Yeah,
So
see, this was all strategic here.
yeah, yeah. You guys are all able to get across without tracking any. There's no sloshing.
You've
or anything.
activated my trap carpet.
And then so as you do see as you pass through here that there's a tray on the ground in this room that seems to have like sewing needles and like a black spool of thread.
Okay.
I think that can stay exactly where it's at.
I have a feeling that was used to stitch spindly creatures into
That
bodies, and so I'm
friend-
not.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's used for capturing eldritch horrors in people's bodies.
Yeah.
Right.
That can stay where it is.
You just have to wade through some blood to get it. It's fine, surely.
Totally fine.
Listen, I don't want it. If you want it, you can go get it.
No, I'm good.
So you see this go up. Like that. So you see a path branch off to the left, and then a path go up straight. You can't exactly see where it ends, but you see that the hallway goes on. There's a small pathway to the left up ahead, and then a big opening to the right.
There's a lot of this that doesn't seem like it makes sense.
Mm-mm. I imagine this connects to this somehow, but this is very strange.
Do we take that quick left then?
Yeah, I think so.
We will continue left.
Okay. So you head left.
Yeah, we'll make sure we do our tapping and poking.
Okay.
The the Sean phalanx proceeds.
You tap and you poke, and you tap and you poke. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. When you tap this tile, though, however, You feel like a bit of resistance as you bring the pole down to tap there.
Oh, is
And
this Weasley Bob
You
again?
hear a quick click
Oh no.
above you, not in the
Oh,
hallway,
no.
but in this room, as a quick bout of fire just shoots straight down.
Well, at least we know where to take new bodies.
Mhm.
Good lord.
The mechanism seems to stay in place.
So it's just continually.
Or is it just activated and done?
So like it's activated, but it like resets. So it's you didn't like snap a wire. Like the wire's still there.
Okay. So we'll just make sure to not step on that.
Yep.
I might just check some more tiles beyond it though to make sure this isn't like a multi-layer.
You tap. When you tap the middle tiles, like the row in this room, they click as well, and another bout of fire comes down. And you're almost singed by it with your hands pulled in, but you're expecting it. So this bout of flame opens up, and you kind of peel back, but you're just right next to it.
Yes, lucky.
So.
Okay, Sean with the W is gonna have to bravely crawl in here. We'll pour a little water on him
Mhm.
Feeling
Check the-
mildly barbecued.
so he can check the next row of tiles by this door here, so that we can know if we can actually get through here or not.
So he crawls in here.
I'm just gonna go for the one right in front of it.
So when he steps here, he starts tapping ahead. He hits a tripwire here, and the same bout of flame in this whole room just on top of him.
Is he able to make a save?
Give me a reflex save.
Come on, Sean with a W.
And
We
unfortunately,
have rerolls.
I
Technically,
have.
we do have
luck-
rerolls.
Do we have rerolls?
we do.
Yeah.
Are we doing rerolls?
How many
I-
were bought for
I
us?
Joe. That's a good question. What is your bits?
I don't
rule?
think we established.
I don't remember. Whatever. It's usually whatever checks is.
Isn't it like 100 is one reroll?
It's like 100 or something. Yeah.
Depends on the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 300.
Mhm.
It depends on how hard you
I
want
forgot
the
to
game to be,
post
really.
mine.
We have at least one.
Let's just say you have one. Yeah, and then
Okay.
we'll do that.
Okay. Better.
15's enough. Yeah. So you hit another tripwire. So it seems like there's a tripwire coming in on both ends of this room, and then there's like a row of tiles in the center that all set up a fire trap. Like this room just blasts you with fire if you try to cross it.
I think we've probably got. We've gotten a lot more bits, so maybe we have 2 more rerolls or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
200 for a reroll.
Would we be able to
Yeah,
try and attempt to
fine.
disarm?
you could try.
I think I have thieves' tools. Does that
I
make
do.
it easier, or
Yeah. I mean, so you know where those are. You can decide to not set them off if you avoid them. Or you can
now
attempt
that
to
we know where they
disarm
are?
Yeah, now that you know where they are.
Sean
Oh,
with the
okay.
W braved many dangers for this.
Yeah.
Sean
And
with a
so
W
he dove
put his
forward
life-
into the hallway ahead to get out of that, and he did not take damage.
Sean with the W.
Oh, nice.
You may be the greatest Sean of them all, after all.
Maybe they don't need to all die or fight. It's just Sean with a
Mhm.
W.
I mean, at this point, I think Sean with the W might have just earned it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, assuming he survives the boss.
I mean, there's a lot
Mhm.
that can change yet, but Sean with the W is apparently quite the dungeoneer so far.
Well, we're
Then
proud of
I'll
him.
assume you're just tapping forward ahead, just tracking out this area as far as it goes, right? So you don't run into anything. What you do find is
Oh no, I don't like this.
Oh, good God. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
Oh, that looks like a lot of caskets.
Well, at least we know how to beat them. We just wake them up and run into the fire room.
Hey, you want to go back that way?
We all wait on the other side, and then one person lures them through.
Sean with a
as
W
they-
lures them through.
Sean with the W lures them through. Let's be real here.
You find 2 rooms just lined with caskets. Each of the caskets, as you walk in, seem to have not the exact same, but similar arcane markings all over the lids of them to what you saw on the like altar thing on the inside walls at the beginning. And none of it is like script, but they all just seem to be like circles and geometric shapes and things that are commonly used for arcane sigils.
Okay.
Each of these caskets has identical markings on it.
I think the easiest solution for this is that there's just a tornado of 10-foot pole swinging as we move from one end to the other. Like the caskets are going to get whacked, the floor is going to get hit, the ceiling's going to get poked, the walls are going to get tapped. Just
All right.
like the Tasmanian devil 10-foot poles.
Start swinging wildly, tapping around. So as you're tapping,
Star Wars kid.
you notice that like the last few these ones feel different when you tap on them. Like the lid isn't on all the way, almost like they're empty.
Ooh.
But the rest of them feel pretty solid, and they don't like ring out hollow when you thud them.
Okay. And what about the big one?
When you get up to the big one, this one does have a different depiction on it, and it has a symbol. Kind of looks like the kind of looks like a depiction of like a man laying down with his arms out, and all around his back and his body, he has these little spindly
Oh
Yeah.
no.
symbols coming from him.
Wouldn't it?
Please put your sanity points in my hands.
Now, somebody had mentioned something about puppet strings earlier, and if that's the case, this must be the puppet master.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try and look at one of these seemingly empty coffins
Okay.
first. I'm gonna grab
Sure.
my water real fast.
Yep. I forget. Is Dan able
Right.
to hear one? Oh, okay, no, he's right there.
Oh, he's right there.
It's just like 2
I
feet
also
away.
did have a
Okay.
quick question. Did we have like a time limit on how late we were gonna go tonight, or are we just going until everyone's dead?
That's up to you guys. I didn't realize it was past midnight.
Yeah, I
So
didn't. I just didn't know what everyone's opinions on that were.
We're kind of being like reasonably cautious.
yeah. There's like a fair amount of rooms.
So
Yeah,
should
look
we
at
be
this.
less cautious, or should we just keep going?
How about
Give me just a second.
I can speed us to like where there's some decisions you guys have to make. So
we kind of want to fast track a little bit.
yeah, we can fast track. So I'll explain. I won't push you guys through any danger. I'll skip some of the traps. I underestimated, or I thought this would be faster to go through, but as soon as I like looked at the map again when we started the stream, I was like, wait, this is a really big dungeon. So
It is like, I mean, we've gone through a lot of rooms.
we
have. But if
For
we've
sure.
gone through a lot of rooms, and there's
But-
also a lot of rooms still left. That's a lot
right,
of
yeah,
rooms.
you've explored probably 60% of it.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's
Which
pretty
is
good.
a decent amount.
We still have back in
Mhm.
this like long hallway. There's still 2 other hallways branching off of that one.
Right. Yeah. So there's still a lot. A
Here.
lot of them
Oh
are
yeah.
just hallways, though. But so you don't really find anything in these caskets. The only thing that's different, all of the ones that are closed seem to be sealed in some way, and you're like not able to get them off. The ones that are open, when you look inside of them, they seem to be like just empty, and they've got a bunch of sigils on the inside of them, but there's nothing in them.
Okay. And the big one, is that similarly unopenable or?
Similarly unopenable. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Seems to be
that
sealed.
makes life easy then, I
Yep.
guess.
And then almost all of the ones in this room are sealed and unopenable
Okay.
as well. So there's just like a short row of them here. It looks like there's nothing in them. We fast forward you. Let's see. Down. Can you see my pings when it's in the black?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is just like a mess hall. There's like nothing in here.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
Let's see. Let's just say you guys decided to backtrack and go this way.
Where did you ping?
You.
Sorry, I missed it.
That's fine. I'll start revealing.
Oh, okay.
You'd find another path out here. You'd find another pathway here. So here are the decisions you'd be given. You also find these here. A bunch of beds with no one in them.
Beds, okay.
Yep. Let me zoom out actually here. So
I feel kind of bad having to fast track it, but
I know.
no, that's fine.
As long as it's not like anything we'd actually be missing out on, you know.
A lot of it's just like crawly, so that's fine. Basically, where we'd get to is you would find on the other side of this door. There's a room full of discarded bones.
Oh.
Sounds like it's up my
That are all seeming to be like not broken. They're all whole, and they're not gnawed on or anything. They just seem to have been like cleanly removed.
Yeah.
it does seem reminiscent of a guy with no bones but full of tentacles we saw earlier.
Yep.
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 Then you'd see a room here with a bunch of candles that are lit. Pretty much nothing past that matters. And then you would get to basically 2 choices. You'd find a room here with another statue. Oh, actually, there's 3 statues here, and they all appear to be people that, like, they're humanoid kind of shaped, but they're the ends of all of their limbs split out into tentacles. And there's 3 of them that are all standing next to each other, and like their head unravels. But you see like mouths and eyes and ears along all of the tentacle bits by the head.
Oh, no.
And this here, you see a person kneeling, praying with their back exploding into tentacles. And it's got like a bunch of text that you can't read at the bottom of it. And it's leaning its head forward, and there's like this big smooth surface that looks like it's the size of your hand. And then you see a portal, or not a portal here. You see a like ring here of like a pentagram with 1 candle that's not lit.
Mm.
So this is one of those things where
Choose your own big bad evil guy.
either we put the candles out, or we light the last candle, or Sean with the W goes and touches the statue. I mean, let's be real here. Who else is going to do it?
That's pretty much it. Yeah,
So,
that's where you'd come to.
Hmm.
And then the rest were just combat rooms. So those are just going to take time. But the story bits are just these two.
okay. So far, touching things has led to bad experiences.
Agreed.
My vote is putting out the candles, but I'm not good at this, so.
Yeah. Lighting candles on a magical symbol, probably also bad. So maybe we start by putting the candles out,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then
So,
which Sean with the W will boldly do. No one else needs to be in the
Mhm.
room with him.
We'll lock the door behind him.
So you start with these candles. So you like go through this room. There's bones everywhere. This room is just a bunch of like empty cots.
Yep.
But in here, so it's like a big circle, 5 candles. One's missing. You go and you put out the first candle. The one that was not lit lights up. And now this one's
Oh,
out.
it's a puzzle.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Okay.
Something to draw with. So that
Oh,
I could
I've got
probably
it.
still not
I've been
get this
doodling
right.
this entire time. What do we need to? What do we need to draw?
It basically just seems to be whenever you put out any of the candles, whatever candle is not lit, lights.
Is it
So one
is it
always stays
spec-
unlit.
So
it-
Can
we
we
should
try to
have
put-
in
multiple
order?
people trying to.
Yeah, can
light
we try to
them.
put 2 out at the same time or all 4 out at the same time?
So like just to be
What do you
clear,
want to try?
so if we do this one lights, and it just goes in a
Right.
circle.
It's
So,
like, yeah, if you're doing one candle, they always will like you'll put one out and then whatever candle wasn't lit lights
okay, all right, then that's
almost immediately.
not helpful then. Like I thought it might be. Okay, do we want to try and just because it's fun and I can stick with the theme here, force Sean's try to put out
All
candles.
4 candles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Their Sean powers unite. I'm sure they can do this synchronously.
Okay.
That will just count to Sean.
So all 4 Sean's like pinch out each of the candles. The last candle does not relight. They're still holding it.
Oh, good. So either we really screwed everything up or we did it right.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Now what happens
So-
when we let go of
The second the Sean's let go of the candles, all 5 of the candles light.
the...
Oh shit. Well, now we really screwed up.
Yeah, we did.
In the
And-
chat, Captain is asking if that summons the Elder Sean.
All 5 of the candles light here, and then you see like sweeping motion as each of the candles here just like light or go out away from
Ooh.
you. And then these 2 candles at the end of the room, which had a skull between them, flare up and then go out.
We're in danger.
The ring around these candles
Mhm.
glows in a circle, and then the star lights up between them. And as the star lights up between them, the ground starts to kind of wobble,
Oh no.
and it turns into this red pool of water that's got this like weird metallic sheen to it. And then nothing
Does it
else
smell
happens.
okay?
Okay. Can one of the Sean's stick their 10-foot pole in and see?
You stick your 10-foot pole in it, and as soon as it makes contact, he feels it like slowly getting pulled away from him.
Can I resist that, or is it like unresistible? It's just
It's going in.
Okay.
And then as it seems to go like all the way through, there's a flash of light and you can't see it in the pool.
My 10-foot pole.
I've still got my hunting spear, don't worry.
So all the Seans jump in. Let's just move this along.
A mass sacrifice of the Shawns. What the fuck?
Okay.
All right.
I mean,
right.
it's not like one of them's gonna know what happened to the other one on the other side.
So the reason I was excited to run this one shot, by the way, is because this is happening parallel to the other campaign I'm running in the same continent.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you did here
Oh, everyone
may or
else
may
gets to
not
experience.
impact that campaign.
Oh,
They're gonna have to face the Elder Shawn.
So
This is actually how the Elder Sean is formed. All the
It'll be a priest with tentacles for hands, and on all those tentacles is a Sean.
all the Seans fuse into the Elder Sean.
So, all of the Shans jump through, and
Yeah,
the
all
second they
four
like
arms.
make contact, like they jump into the pool and they slowly sink through and then get sucked, and you see them like fully in the water for a second. There's a flash of light and their body disappears, and each of them do that. They just all
Alright.
as they hit the pool water, they get sucked under. Flashlight, they disappear.
Yeah, I'm either done for the night or
When they can see again, they smell like sulfur, brimstone. They look out and they see that they're in like this stone room that's pretty much the same shape as this.
did I send them
And
to
they're
the end of doom?
standing in a circle that looks pretty similar.
All right.
Then at the end of the room, there's a set of double doors that are open. You walk out, there's a balcony. There is a massive courtyard of several people wearing the same robes that you saw of the guy that burst into tentacles
no.
earlier. They don't seem to notice you. They're all just kind of mingling around in the courtyard below. You see the sky is red. You see there's all these spires of black rock just sticking out of the ground as far as you can see. And that goes on in every direction. You don't recognize the landscape. You don't see any stars. There's just this black cloud of smoke. There are... You see like a dark purple moon that's almost on the horizon way out there. And then you see this tall spire of like a plateau or something way, way, way out in the distance that rises up through the clouds. And you can't see the top of it. And there's like a bit of a storm kind of around it.
The doom music starts to play. Rip and tear until Sean is done.
At least,
What's everyone else doing?
Maybe does Sean with the W now understand what all the voices screaming about looking above means? Because this sounds pretty well like they're, kind of in hell.
Yeah, maybe this is that.
I think
so that
Volo,
Sean
etc. is just gonna leave.
feels like this place
Like-
is not the same place that he saw when
Oh,
he
no.
saw the vision.
Oh. So Team Jake just goes back out to the river.
Yeah, they're just like, well, clearly that time to get paid.
Well, I mean, he can at least go and tell the Institute what they found.
Absolutely.
Damn.
Did I find my 10-foot pole back?
The initiative. Oh, yes, your 10-foot pole is laying just in the center of the room.
That's when Sean picks up the 10-foot pole, and that's when the doom music starts playing.
Yeah, I think the pun squad will take their chances and hop in the water.
In the water back
Yeah.
there?
Well, no, not the river. The circle. Is the circle
The circle?
still active?
Yeah. Oh, wait, the Okay, the same like metallic
The
water.
portal.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you hop in, the Shans that are already there, they notice that the room kind of like gets this red glow to it, and you see that there's this like bit of glass in the ceiling above you. And as each one of her members of her party pop through, there's this giant beam of light, just poof, 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 going up into the sky
Oh
as
my.
people are popping through.
Hmm.
Oh, so we're absolutely announcing our presence.
Oops.
Oh well.
Is
Now, does it
Tyler gonna
look
hop
like-
in?
I might as well.
Or I was gonna say, or should we try and like break the glass and see if something happens?
Does it look like we can go backwards through here, or is this like a one-way deal so far?
Does not look like you can go back.
Haha. Sorry.
Well, at least Jake survived.
At least
Yeah, I'll jump in. See what this is all about.
I mean,
Uh,
nothing says you have to. I mean, this is just shenanigans at this point.
Yeah.
Eh.
We're just going to die.
The only people I know just jumped into this portal, so
No, not all of them.
Yeah,
Oh.
Jake went back to town.
Yeah. Jake's going back.
You
Jake
don't
made-
have to follow in our stupidity.
Jake may
I-
be the
I-
hero that we actually all need.
I want to follow in your stupidity.
All right.
Okay.
You follow the
Some
stupidity, I
things
get
never
I get
change.
all the
Each
money.
group of person, or each group or each player who's jumped through, each of you give me a luck check, just one for your party.
Oh boy.
Well,
Are we going off of? Does it matter if we pass or succeed, or?
Not really. It's just like whichever one does best.
Technically, this would be probably the best luck check I've made all night.
so luck is
Oh.
minus, right?
Yep.
Oh
Alright.
yeah. I do actually have a luck modifier on one of my characters,
Oh well, you.
so that would be a 2.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh no.
I think I did the worst.
Oh, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Oh no.
All right. So, Dan,
Uh-huh.
as you're out there on the balcony, and these last few puffs of light have shot up into the sky, you see some of the heads in the courtyard down below start turning, and they look up at the light as it's hitting, and you see people in the courtyard start turning and going like towards. There seems to be like some sort of door or something underneath the balcony. And then you see there's like a door on the back side of the room that you're in too. And you see them start entering towards that. Then Jake, so you said you were just going back to town?
Yep.
Okay.
Jake's really the winner here. The rest
All
of those dumbasses jumped into some portal. I'll have all their money, please.
They may or may not still have bones. There's a room full of bones you can look at.
But so since one of you succeeded on your luck check, though, you see that there's these like the people in the cultist robes are turning towards you. They seem to be like shuffling back towards this gate. But you hear this weird sound above you, Dan, as you're on there. You hear like the wind start to rustle. And you hear what sounds like the flap of wings almost at first. And then several wings. And then it's like a repetitive, just like sound. And you hear, what would that sound like? You
Get
hear
in
like the
chopper.
clacking. You hear the clacking of wood as a rope ladder descends from the smoky clouds above you.
Okay. I might want to just pin the ever living crap out of this door real quick behind us, and then I'll look up.
All right.
You know, some of the
You just
shots
see
through
this.
the door.
You see a rope ladder that goes up through the smoke. It seems to be
right.
swaying back and forth a little
I
bit.
know who's going up the rope ladder first.
Sean with
All
a
right.
W.
Down with the W.
Mhm.
The man himself.
The man, the myth. Sean with the W.
The Sean.
All right. Climb up the rope ladder. Does anyone else follow? Or
I
follow?
mean,
Yeah,
the
let's
rest of the
go.
Seans will follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll trust the magical.
You hear after the pitons go in, or the pitons or whatever, go into the door, and everything starts getting on. You see the door like bulging. You hear like body masses slamming against it on the other side, trying to open it.
Crunchy.
But they don't seem to be able to get through.
Good
As the
job.
last person gets on this rope ladder and you're all climbing up, rope ladder starts to ascend. You're all pulled up pretty quickly, and you feel the rope ladder like shake a little bit, and then there's this like kind of mechanical, just like as it feels like the rope ladder is being pulled by some mechanism, and the whole thing starts to sway to the side. You're swept over this giant courtyard, and you see several more of these cultist people just kind of walking around. You see several more buildings that look kind of like this one. You see a few more of these like hexagonal shaped parts of them with these big crystals, similar to the one that was flashing this bright light as you guys arrived. None of them else seem to be flashing. And that quickly is cut out of your vision as you're pulled through this thick black cloud of smoke. And as you're not able to see too well through there, you know, kind of coughing, smells horrible. It's like this sulfury, thick black fog. You're pulled above it, and you just see this sea of smoke. You see a dark purple sky with occasionally twinkling lights. And you see the top of this high stone pillar that rose through the clouds. And you see above you, there seems to be some sort of like airship looking thing. It's like this giant blimp. And you see a team of people like just reeling in this big mass of...
They're not wearing cultist ropes, are they?
Nope,
Okay, that's
they're
a good
not.
start.
Yep. They seem to be wearing like leather armor over... it's like bright orange leather armor. And they've got like goggles and things on. They're just cranking up. A few of them are like chuckling. And they're speaking some language that you don't understand. But as they start pulling you up and you guys look over, you see the top of this large stone pillar has this clear water ocean on it. And there's this little island in the center of it. But it's got this crazy parallaxing effect. So it's very large, but it's very far away. But it looks like almost the mass of a continent suspended in this crystal blue lake of water.
Dear Lord.
This firmament over the top of it. You see clouds and almost like a blue haze as you look through it. And you get pulled up. A few hands reach down and start pulling you guys onto the deck. And they all start talking. You don't understand them. They can see that you don't understand. They start chuckling, and you see them like start waving over their hand. And you see a woman step down. She's wearing like looks kind of like a ship captain outfit ish. And she looks at each of you. They're like, "So, where are you guys from?"
Earth? Or, I don't know. I assume it's Earth or something. You know, wherever we would say.
Felmarsh?
You would say from Bellerin, probably. Like that'd be
Okay,
the
Valor. Yeah, the,
continent that
the
you're for.
continent. Yeah,
Mm.
I didn't know what the planet was called.
It's called Malos.
That.
So yeah, you'd say Valorant. They're like, we haven't got anyone from there in a while. Well, we don't know how to go back there. So
we know this.
still working that one out. But you'll do just nicely over there.
What does
There.
that mean?
That's Gebrin Dalithor.
Oh. What? Somebody's been there before.
Who
Not
else
us.
is there?
Yep. They're like, and you see there's like a little dock that's kind of shooting off the side of this as you're circling around the other side of it. There's this like big wooden and steel dock that sits on the edge of the stone. And then there's a few boats docked against that on the edge of the lake or this ocean as you're getting close. And that's where we cut.
Damn.
Place
Everyone
always
lived
keeps
for
us
now.
busy. Yeah.
Well, except for
It was a
Tess.
50-50 chance. So the other option was way worse.
What
Oh.
was the other option? We go
I figured
touch
that
the
one's
statue and everyone
joined them.
dies.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Yikes.
So the other one was going to be a lot worse for your campaign.
Well, darn. They got off easy, I guess.
hmm
Yeah, what does happen if we went and touched the statue?
If you had touched that statue, you would have seen visions of a creature that you guys have already seen briefly in the first dungeon of our Valorant campaign.
Ew.
The multi-mouth tentacle speaking critter that's like, come feed me.
Yep.
Help me. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all starting to like.
I feel like
Yep.
I've been in a campaign that Chuck ran with the multi-splitting arm tentacle creatures before too. I don't know
So-
what campaign it was at this point.
You would have been sucked into the church that worships that thing and are trying to help it find a way to the surface.
Right, like the tentacle arm robed cultist. It's reminding me of a video game, but I can't remember what it is,
Oh,
and
sure.
it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Tangentially, it kind of makes me think of the hive mind thing from or the grave mind from Halo a little bit, but
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, this is a cult that worships those tentacles that come out of the ground. So you would have seen a glimpse of what that thing looks like, and it looks like a massive person with tentacles growing off of its back that are constantly searching the underworld for a way to get up to the surface.
Oh wait, no, I remember what it was Skyrim.
Oh.
It was Skyrim. Now I just remembered what. Yeah.
I'm incredibly puzzled now about Gabrin Delethor's place in the world because apparently it's surrounded by all sorts of crazy bullshit, or all the crazy bullshit's part of it. I'm not sure which.
Yep. It is a terraformed part of hell.
Oh,
So we did go to hell, like I thought.
Yep.
Oh, now I gotta. You'll have to like give me a refresher on our Gabrin Delethor stuff now.
So the whole point of Gebrin Dalithor. So unfortunately, the connection was never made because we had to rush the ending of it.
Yeah.
Because that was like when Alex's game was changing over.
Mhm.
But the whole joke of Gebrin Dalithor is that Sotiel is Doomslayer and he terraformed hell. He was rescuing enough people that they were able to band together and start like casting create water and sanctify ground and all that type of stuff for long enough that they raised this like pillar up. And yeah.
interesting.
Nice. So that's Sotiel from the way back Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. I like this.
So he was supposed to be like the king that was like alluded to in the campaign that we didn't get to. And there was one part of that campaign that was supposed to be a big hint as to where you guys were, where you cast a banishment spell on a demon and it didn't go anywhere. And I insisted that the spell did not fail. It worked as intended. But that...
Oh, yeah, because it returned to its natural plane where it already was.
Yep.
Oh.
And the stabs that you guys were guarding in all of the towns were like warding spells that repelled
Oh, kept.
all the stuff from below.
Okay.
Mm,
It all makes a little more sense now.
Yep. But I didn't get to go into it as much because we had to like rush that campaign.
Yeah. I like it though. I like the more this, I don't know, the more it expands, the cooler it is.
So that's a fun setting. Pretty much every campaign you guys have run has been in the same like universe.
Multiverse, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. So the previous campaign is just on a different continent in the same world. The Hollow Throne was on the other side of the planet on a different continent.
So the hell that we're in is the hell for all of these places. It's the same one. Okay.
Yeah, it's called Dalior.
Okay. This is fun. I wonder what we fucked up for the other people.
You
Doesn't sound like
didn't
much.
Maybe we didn't
stop.
screw it up.
You didn't make it worse, but you didn't help it. So there was a cult that was springing up. There was a bunch of different like hooks that you guys could have taken at the beginning of the campaign. This was one of the potential ones, because at the very beginning when we started the Valorant campaign, I said like, do you want to go south and deal with the ruins? Do you want to go west into the Felmarsh and explore like the rumors of weird monsters? Do you want to go north, or do you want to go east and explore the light at the very end of like the completely sunken in continent and see what that was about? And you guys chose to go south.
Fun.
Yeah. So this is a speed run of what this campaign would have been had you guys decided to go east.
Okay. That's cool.
Or west, I mean.
We got the bridge.
Lord Meatball and the spaghetti people.
Yeah, you would have found another cult. Actually, pretty much every direction you would have gone, you would have found this tentacle monster trying to come up, because it's massive. And there's like there's a different version of the Underdark that I have that it lives in. And it's big enough that it has tentacles coming up in Veshkal, and it has tentacles coming up in the Felmarsh, and it has tentacles coming up in the Deep Basin. And it's just constantly like slamming itself against the ceiling, looking for a path to get out.
Oh,
my
so
God.
when we went and collapsed all that stuff in at the other place and shut the doors and all the other stuff, it was probably a good thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Coincidentally done right.
But now Jake, now that he made it out, is able to relay this information back to Estrovia. So had you guys so it's better because one, you didn't make the cult more powerful, and two, you actually got information back to the mainland. So now people will be aware that there's a cult growing in this.
Weird noodly
You
people.
don't know the name of the cult, and you don't know many details about that monster. But you didn't join
Like, you know,
it.
things like touching the statue will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You
seems
can
to
get
have
bonked
some
on
like
the head and be not crazy. You can get noodles in you and take your bones out.
yeah.
The noodle swapperation.
Yep. The acid here was the same acid from the first.
From the magic wand.
Yeah,
Well,
not from the magic
first
wand,
time.
but from that you were finding in the. Well, it's kind of from the magic wand. It does the same effect, but it's the same exact like mix that you found in the first dungeon, and it's used to harvest the tentacles off of them and shape them into people.
Oh.
Tremendous.
Or it's used to harvest the tentacles and graft them to people, and it slowly like grows and takes them over.
This is all just terrible.
I don't know which is worse.
And that's what happened to the rest of that guy's party in that blood spot in the middle there.
Hmm.
And when it gets grafted, it's super painful. And all of those coffins were all of the people from the settlement party and the scouting party that were just in a cocoon, basically.
Oh.
Oh, frick.
Well, we didn't really get the opportunity to jack around with them, and
Yep.
maybe that's for the best. Except for when, they're done baking or whatever and probably come out anyways.
Mhm.
In which
Well-
case, there was at least 3 more of them that
Mhm.
we didn't encounter.
It's been fun.
And then you also know that they have some sort of a foothold in Dalior, yeah, because they've got a portal that brings them back and forth. But you don't. The civilization there doesn't know how to get back, but the cultists do somehow.
Bastards. Keeping their teleportation secrets.
Mhm. That's one of the other methods that the cult's trying to do. So the cult hasn't found an opening big enough to bring the thing up, but they're trying to open a portal below and above to bring him up.
I like this. It's really fun.
This was very interesting. It was a
Very-
good time.
Kind of terrifying.
Yeah, a little bit. More than a little bit.
Yeah, I wish I should have for this to be a one shot. I should have like streamlined some of the rooms a little bit more. This was like a map that I found, so I should have like just there were entire sections that I should have just like cut out and just made it a straight hallway.
I did like the idea of like how you've got it kind of like a 2-layer deal.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the above ground and then we came and went under it, but it's still like pieces together nicely.
Yeah, I have the same. So I took that map and then I deleted all of the underground part of it in Photoshop, and then put like another map on top of it, and that was the above ground. And then I just like deleted that layer, and then it showed
I liked
the
that.
underground part.
It's a cool concept.
Those dotted lines, when you were on the surface, you could have noticed that there was like depressions in the ground, that there were like parts that were kind of sunk in, and that was going to be like a hint that there's an underground part.
But we didn't walk on the path at all, really.
Yeah,
Right
so
off
that's
of
fine.
it.
Yeah,
No one pays attention to anything, but we did it in the long run.
yeah.
Hooray.
That's
What's
okay.
his face, and he told us where to go.
But yeah,
All right.
you learned about an eldritch horror that may plague the other game. And that Gabrindalathor is just a little pocket of civilization that's struggling to make it by in hell.
Don't worry, they just got 4 more Seans.
Yep.
That's
Is
all
kind
the
of
world
amusing that all
needs.
the Doom references sort of actually legitimately.
I made that I made Gabrindalathor right when Doom was coming out. So
Wow.
it was very like heavily influenced by that. And that was like the same time I was thinking of what happened to Sotiel. And
No,
actually
that's-
each of my previous a lot of my previous characters, a lot of all of our previous characters have some like version of themselves in this world. Universe somewhere.
Well, does anyone know the schedule off the top of their head if we're wrapping up?
Tomorrow night is Crypt of the Devil Lich at some time on Goodman Games. I think it starts at 9. I think on Sunday we have our
Salt Marsh,
Art Marsh
At
game
9 or 10, I
also
can't
at
remember.
9. I think we're real experts here. I show
Yeah.
up on time. I show up
I
on
don't-
time. I swear.
We should have got a list from Chuck. I don't remember.
Yo, we
what they
should have
were.
asked.
I think Monday night is Aliens on Lollygaggers.
That sounds right.
Day
Because
night
it's
is
not our
nothing.
it's
Our
not
UVG
the
night.
not UVG because we just did that.
Wednesdays, Pathfinder,
Mhm.
Yep.
and then Friday is. I think it's that
Friday is also
your game again,
Pathfinder.
Joe?
Friday would
Or
be
no,
Joe's
is
game,
it?
but he
Friday would be my game, but you guys are.
at my wedding.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe we're having a day off.
So I don't know what's happening on Friday. I think it's a night off.
I think we're having a night off that Friday. So I think that covers it. It's
Yeah.
not quite as expertly delivered as usual,
Mhm.
but
Tune
And
back
then
in
I
on
think
Sunday
that-
and we'll have the real schedule.
There you
I think
go.
that Sunday
Or tomorrow
is
night,
Alex's game,
Sunday's Alex's game. On our
Yeah, it's every other Sunday.
or is it this Sunday? Is Alex's
It's this
game?
Sunday.
It's this coming Sunday.
Okay.
Like 2 days from now, Sunday.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
So there you
Well-
go. If you're not confused, just tune in every day at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we'll be here or we won't.
Yep. That's
Either way,
how
we
it works.
appreciate it.
Tune in Friday where
Yeah.
for 500 bits you can change the vows of Tyler's wedding.
No, no.
Oh,
I didn't
Don't
agree to
tempt
that.
Thanks for playing. It was I decided on Wednesday I was doing this, so paced a little bit weirdly because of that, but it was still fun. And I got to give you guys some lore.
I appreciate everybody tuning in to watch.
Yes. A lot of
I
fun.
don't have a fancy sign off like Chuck does, and I
Yeah.
don't know if you do either, Joe.
Not really.
Do drugs, start fires, get vaccinated.
Yeah,
Wash
something
your
like
hands,
I-
wear masks.
Yeah.
that. Mhm.
So I don't think any of us should. I think we should pay attention a little bit more.
No, I don't want to be good at that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be expected to do it sometime. It's terrible. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
At
Thanks
this
for
point, can you
watching.
Just like start waving.
Have a good night.
All right.
We're
We
gonna
don't
sign
go
off and go to bed.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.